What's going on? What's going on? Hold on, real quick. Let me bring everybody up. How's everybody doing in the crowd? Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. This motherfucker booming already. Y'all know what time it is. Get the likes up on upon entry before you even comment. Y'all know what it is. It's gonna be a hell of an episode today, man. I'm looking forward to it. We got special guests in the building. First and foremost, Miss Kelly Culture is in the building. We appreciate you tapping in for sure. Man, this about to be one of the ones. We got Ricky in the building. About to get into it, man. I can't wait. Last but not least, we got our dog D Foster in the building. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's gonna be a hell of a show. Before we get started, how's everybody doing, man? We got to check on their health and things of that nature.
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Doing pretty great.
I can't complain about it.
I feel it. Look here, D. You gotta take some of that bass out your boy. You making me feel bad.
Oh, my bad.
I'm like, damn, I gotta smoke some more cigarettes. I gotta get up there.
Hold on, big baby.
What about you guys? How's the crew?
And we are amazing, man. We are amazing. Fresh off of Battle of the Sexes 6. It's shot, it's edited. If y'all are part of the Patreon, y'all done already seen it. If y'all ain't a part of the Patreon, y'all tap in patreon.com/crew season. Subscribe. Any tier, you'll be able to go check it out. Also, everybody that's asking, hey, how do we send in questions? That's how you send in questions. You got to be Patreon, to get questions answered, things of that nature. So y'all make sure y'all tap into that. But yeah, Battle of the Sexes is Battle of Sexes 6 is gonna be one of the ones, man. It was for sure. And shout out to Kiki for tapping in with us. Y'all make sure y'all go support Cocktails Podcast. Hell of a podcast. They out here kicking ass out here.
We brought back one of y'all favorite guests as well.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be, it's gonna be one of the ones. I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna drop it. I think I'm gonna drop it probably next Friday. Next Friday. So what's that, the 8th?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's the 8th.
And
So,
how did you say we find it? Patreon.com/
Crew Season.
Chris.
Yeah, patreon.com/crew season. I'll make sure that y'all tapped in.
Somebody said we didn't read that question on the pod.
Who said that?
Right here.
Oh, honey. Say y'all did me dirty. How y'all gonna stop reading? Skip over. Well, because you give my tuition back. Nah, she didn't ask a question. She was talking about YouTube Live in that one. You might have asked one further down the line, but that one right there wasn't no question.
She said my tuition back.
But straight up and down. Shout out to Jack North. We appreciate you, dude. You say, dear no pullouts. 1, be mindful toward your future seed's domestic upbringing. 2, never relinquish your paternal authority and rights. 3, don't let spiteful baby mamas mutilate your son's genitals ever. Prayers for D Wade. Oh y'all starting early. I see where this is going early.
Put your twos up for Zaire Wade. Put your twos up.
Man, twos in the chat. Jesus Christ. I see where this is going. But yeah, so I say so. Yeah, Battle of the Sexes is coming. July 8th. Oh, how did you enjoy Battle of the Sexes?
And I had a good time. A lot of good energy in the building. We had Smooth back, so y'all know Smooth is always gonna be a good time in there. Dre, and of course us too. Kenny was in the back, making sure everything was running smooth. He was there in spirit. He was there. And we got some other people too, but I'm
gonna have to keep those things quiet.
I can't get y'all the girls yet.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be one of the ones. I can't wait for y'all to check it out. But yeah, so we was going this topic tonight, man. We're gonna talk about the McDonald's chaos, right? And at first we was gonna wait until the pod, and then I say, man, we wait until the pod, and we ain't gonna be able to touch on it until next Tuesday, which is the 5th of July. Mm-hmm. I say, nah, man, we gotta touch on that a bit sooner than the 5th.
4-day weekend. 4-day weekend.
Right. So yeah, hell no. But yeah, so we gonna tap into it tonight. But first and foremost, man, I just got we're gonna give a little icebreaker question just in general. what do y'all feel like the main disconnect is? With what you know what? Before you answer that question, where we at in likes? Want to make sure that we got to see. Oh, okay. Oh shit, y'all ain't on it already. Okay,
Y'all
y'all
ain't
do what
playing
y'all
no
supposed to be
games
doing.
today.
Everybody stop what y'all doing. Like the vid. Y'all know what time it is. If y'all in here, I think it's 200 people in here already. Y'all stop what y'all doing. Like the vid if y'all ain't did it already. We appreciate y'all. But yeah, so just an icebreaker. You know, it's always a lot of issues in terms of co-parenting, especially in our community. But I want to ask y'all, what do y'all feel like the main disconnect is in terms of just co-parenting in general? In most cases, it's not a smooth, process or whatever. So where do y'all feel like, the ball is dropped mainly if y'all had to, pick a spot? Ladies first. Kelly, I want to hear your take on this first.
I would say immediately I thought feelings. Like when you first break up with someone, there are still feelings involved and you're still attached to that person. And sometimes it's a one-sided breakup, so the other person still wants that relationship to work. So there's a lot of bitterness, there's animosity, and you instead of fighting for the child, you're fighting with the parent, and there's always something backing that, and it's usually in regards to the emotions you still have for that person. But once those two people find other people and they're both happy, the co-parenting situation seems to be much better and more cohesive. So that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I would agree. D, what you think, bro? What's the main disconnect in terms of just co-parenting? Where do we go wrong at with this shit?
I mean, Kelly got my answer. It's the feelings, because a lot of people not letting go and they still checking for their baby mama or their baby daddy. They still trying to govern who they talk to, and you had that usual conversation, who you got around my child, and it's not really about who they have around the child. It ain't about this child's safety. It's the jealousy of somebody else being
right
in the spot that you wanted.
Exactly.
Because you deep down, you want that family household. You want everybody in the same house, and now that they go replace you with somebody else, you had that conversation. And it ain't got nothing to do with the child's safety. It's all about the fact that why is he or she in the spot that I want?
Right.
So that part, and then it's I don't know. I mean, my thing with co-parenting is, and I tell women all this, I tell women this all the time, in my family, women in my family, my friends or whatever. My friend just had a kid by a guy, and I told her, I said, whatever you do not downplay his position in his child's life. Because it can be two new parents. It's her first child, it's his first child. They both learning. They both in the same learning curve. They both got to go through the same thing, but the woman will often talk down on his abilities to care for the kid because he's a man, and according to the universe, men aren't capable of caring for a child the way their mom does.
Right.
So, for instance, he can be holding the child wrong, and instead of saying, "Oh no, hold him like this," or "Don't drop his head," it's like, "You're doing it wrong. Give him back to me," or something like that. It's like they're yelling, or he changing the diaper wrong, and it's the yelling. It's not the teaching.
Right.
So, and for some dudes, they not built for that. And if you do that enough, to the point where he started to feel like, well, damn, maybe the kid is better off without me around.
Damn.
And that becomes a big issue. And for a lot of dudes, it will cause them to walk off or come around less, or just step back and just do financial part, but don't really, because they scared. Hey, well, maybe she right. Maybe I need to stay. Maybe I need to stay in the background for especially if he came from a home
like that. I've never thought about it.
Especially if he came from a home people fussed at him all the time, or something you don't know. I mean, you never know. So I see that a lot with. I never had to deal with it because I wasn't in that position, but I've seen it many times where men get put down for what they both learning, but the women are all automatically feel like they are better fit
Expert.
for this
Yeah,
situation.
like it comes natural to a woman, but
Based off
there's
the fact
nothing
that
wrong
she,
with like teaching him
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I think you touched
a
on
new
on,
way.
on something pivotal. Not that I'm thinking about it again. I don't think I ever heard it put like that. But when you say it like that, it make a lot of sense because men don't like failing at anything. Whatever we fail at, we tend to shy away from a bit. Most men, if we just gonna be honest. Now there are some men who will take that failure as all right. Hell no, I gotta go back to the drawing board. I gotta figure this shit out. But again, I don't think most men are cut like that. So I could definitely see why. And again, that's not validating.
No,
You
it ain't
taking it back
validating
to,
it,
you know what
but
I'm
it would.
saying? But just like touching on the psyche of the situation. Logic, I see you, big dog. But yeah, just touching on the psyche of the situation. You know, I ain't never thought about it like that. Oh, if you had to give a main disconnect in terms of where we dropped the ball at for co-parenting amongst our community, what would it be?
man. But we dropped the ball at first is just sleeping with people unprotected that we never see ourselves with in the future. And I think if there was some type of relationship established, even if it was a friendship and it just happened, I think that situation would end up better than people, you know what I'm saying, hating each other because they really like resent each other in a sense. Nobody wants each other to date, can't be happy, like none of that. It's just always fighting. Anytime it's like for the simplest things, it's an argument every single time. And that's people that should have never been together in the first place. You know, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I would agree. I think the main disconnect is just to blurring the lines. Like adults can't like separate our relationship from our relationship with the kid or what our relationship with the kid should be. We oftentimes blur those lines. So if our relationship was bad, and I see this a lot with women in terms of like if our relationship was bad, then you must be a terrible dad or he's a terrible dad or I'll go around telling people he's a terrible dad because he may have cheated on me or he may have neglected me in terms of our relationship. But this man could have did all that, and he could be guilty of all that in terms of being a terrible partner or mate or husband or whatever. But this man can also be great at raising his kids. But oftentimes those lines will get blurred. So now and then on top of that, like not only do that they have those thoughts, but they'll let those thoughts rub off on the kid. So now you're raising the kid to have resentment for his dad based on y'all relationship failing, and we're gonna get into that a bit later. I don't want to touch too deep into that, but Ricky, bro, if you had to give your summation in terms of where we dropped the ball at with this co-parenting situation, what would it be?
The first part, the first drop the ball is exactly what O said. You know what I'm saying? Not choosing a mate that you choosing to have a child with a mate that you plan to be with long term. First and foremost. Second, ego. Our ego plays too big of a part when it comes to a child. When it's that child, it's the child's welfare and the well-being, which should be paramount between the two parents. That child didn't ask to be here. That child wouldn't be here if you two didn't commit the act that you committed, and then it wouldn't be no argument. Period. Right. Part three, I think we put too much onus on the mother to be the sole emotional provider for the child. Right. What I'm starting to realize at this point with the modern woman,
Yay.
right, is that when it comes down to it, they're children, right? They skirt any responsibility or accountability the minute they see it coming around the corner, right? And even if they don't want to admit it, they passing that on to their children because they're the one who raised the children. They're the one who imbue and put the information into the children. I think as fathers, we need to step in and feel and basically take that role from the mother, right? We need to take that role from the mother. I think they're needed because you have to teach a kid, to have a heart, to be nurturing. But as the lessons of life go, the modern women, they're failing at teaching children that, period. Right? They react emotionally to everything. That's why we got all these dudes out here that's emotional, that don't act correctly, right? And that's the way, and that's also the reason why the young ladies are the way they are now, because again, they just picked that up from their mom. So the dads, we need to step in and take our children and be the primary caregiver, period.
Damn, that's yeah, that's true as well in terms of like the emotional. You know what's crazy is that a lot of us are like raised to do that, terms of like men, in terms of like what we're raised to be. Like you'll have a dude right to where like the baby will be crying, and it's his instinct to just let the mama just go handle that emotional stuff. I'll take care of the finances. I'll take care of, the quote unquote grandioso things. But in terms of like the emotion building and all of that, we just tend to let the, baby crying too much. Here, take her, because you know best.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of,
supposedly.
Right, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just letting that man kind of figure it out. And, going back to what, D said earlier, that'll discourage a man from like wanting to figure that shit out. So yeah, I think that right there definitely has to change.
So I remember growing up, my father was like a very dominant role in my life, and I remember him almost like fathering my mother. So he would always tell us that when you get married, you leave your father's covering and you go under your husband's covering. So I've always viewed husbands as like fathers that are your age. Like they're still like they still take care of you like a father would. So a father wants to pass his daughter to a man that he feels like will adequately take care of his daughter the way he did. So the way he was with my mom, like I remember he would tell her things like, okay, don't hold the baby too much because you're going to spoil it. Make sure, like, lay her down, just pat her on the back, let her go to sleep. Because I'm the oldest of 5, one of the oldest of 5. So I remember watching him teach her how to raise my younger brother and sister. But he was like very involved in like all parts of the children's lives, like even from infancy. So, but it played a huge role in all of our lives. Like our father was like the dominant parent. So, and it made a huge impact on us growing up.
I got a quick question. I'm just curious. What's the age gap between mom and dad?
Mom and dad, 4 years.
Okay. Okay. Because normally a lot of times you'll see that, with a bigger age gap, because he's tend to have more experience or more wisdom or whatever it is. So he'll lead from that aspect that way a lot of times as far as like coaching in a sense. Yeah.
He believed, I was talking about this earlier. He believed in you're supposed to cultivate your wife. Like, the parents do their job, but you need to make your wife what you want her to be. Like, she needs to come with the basics of what you want, but like women can be like altered to fit your passenger on my ship at this point.
So that means she has to be submissive.
Yes. If you met my mother, she's like the ultimate submissive woman.
I forgot that's like a curse word in here. Sorry.
No, well,
it might be triggering to some people, but that's why these submissive women have men or married.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be doing it. Never mind. I'll talk about that later. But go ahead.
Yeah, Saida, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Hi. Good evening, everybody.
All right, so we just up here discussing like, what do you feel like is the main disconnect? Where's the ball dropped in terms of co-parenting? If you had to pick one thing, and real quick before you go, everybody get the likes up. I'm in that the likes is down. Stop what y'all doing right now. Like the stream. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all getting quality content, so let the likes reflect that. The likes are free, so stop what y'all doing. Like the stream. We appreciate y'all. All right, Syed, I go ahead. In terms of the disconnect, what do you feel like what's the main place people drop the ball in terms of co-parenting?
I think miscommunication. Like they're not aiming towards the same goal, so they're pulling to their own side, not agreeing like what's the best for our kid, or like, hey, let's work towards this. This is what we want. And one perfect example is that I am not a native speaker, but my daughter's father is. And since she was a baby, I wanted to talk to her in English because I was like, hey, since she's a baby, she's going to acquire the language and it's going to be easier because you're there, you're present. But he was like, no, she's just a baby. She doesn't know. And I was like, oh, that's so ignorant. In my head, that was ignorant. But I tried to tell him. And then whatever she knows is because I taught her. But if he would have, agree with me, it would have been easier. And by now she will be fluent. So little things like that it will make it easier if people will be more understanding and communicative, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that.
But I think that comes into having conversations with a person before having children and like
this is how we should raise the kids. Like a conversation, like have like similar thought processes. But a lot of times people are having babies, accidentally, and they never even intended on being with this person, and now they have to figure out how to raise this child together. And they don't even like each other. So that's why I think people should wait. But
even religion, things like religion, you're like, what religion are we going to have, you know?
And these are conversations that need to be had that just aren't had anymore, because people are just having reckless sex with people they don't even want to be with or build with. So
in my situation, I don't know. My kid was with me and solely me, and her mom came into the picture when she was 10. And it was hard to relinquish that control I had to myself for 10 years. And it was like, now I got another person who has her opinions of how things should go, but I've been doing this.
right.
It wasn't, so it was like, I don't know. It's like I wasn't trying to hear nothing from the outside. And it wasn't even just about her. It was from anybody. Because I had been the one that was there, and nobody else who was, around could tell me, hey, this was so. When she came in, like my daughter was in a diverse school where she goes to school. There's Hispanic kids there, there's Asian kids there, there's white kids there, this and this and that. But then when her mom came into the picture, she wanted her to go to a predominantly black school. And we butt heads on that. She said, and she's like this. She's very anti-white. So it's like she was like, oh, every bad thing. She was, everything that she thought she didn't like about my daughter's upbringing was white people fault. You need to get her away from the white folks. You need to get away from the white folks. You get away from the white folks. So it was that situation.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the world is not full of just black people. So you kind of
exactly,
practice dealing with other races, because that's what real life is.
Your kid gonna be whoever they are, no matter what school they go to.
Exactly.
And that's just what it is. So it was like,
that child gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Who they are as they grow older. It's just part of growing.
That's the way I felt. So she's still in her school, but that was the problem when it came along. Like when she came into the picture, it was a tug of war. So I don't know. That's two different types of people who came from two different types of background trying to raise one kid. It's this.
How did you end up resolving that? What did you do?
Oh, I just continued doing what I was doing. Like, I'm not one of the people that you can knock off his square. Like, I stand on it no matter what the topic is. I stand on it. So you can't really tell me. My mind don't change. I'm just going to say what I got to say, and then we're just going to keep it moving the way it's been moving before you came into the picture. So that's just what it was.
Absolutely.
All right, real quick, man. Let's welcome Miss Kayla to the stage.
Yes.
Welcome,
I love
Kayla.
that. Round of applause. Maybe make that ass clap. I love it. Okay, so
Look, she like she ready to cause trouble already. I can't wait to take on this. So we up here discussing, like, what do you feel like is the main disconnect in terms of co-parenting in today's society? If you had to pick one spot where we just dropped the ball at in terms of co-parenting.
okay, so my opinion comes from personal experience as well. I am a child of divorced parents. My parents got divorced when I was 12. Very not good divorce. I think the main disconnect is ego and pride. At the end of the day, people want it to be their way. And since we ain't together anymore, I don't need to compromise with you because you ain't my girl or you ain't my man. And we going to do it the way I want to do it. However, that doesn't really work because the both of y'all made this kid. So I really honestly think a lot of the times it comes down to pride. It comes down to ego, not getting your way. I think, this whole video that's going around the internet. That's literally what was happening. She wasn't getting her way. And like, what can I do to get my way? What can I do to manipulate the situation so that I can get my way? Whether that is, I mean, was such a toxic thing, that video. And I watched the whole because the whole entire like 3 minutes it was on Tony the Closer's page. So I watched the entire thing start to finish. But yeah, I think it's ego and pride. And some of it for men or women can also be like resentment and bitterness from not being with them anymore. Say they moved on and they're happy and you're not still. Or, you know, things aren't going just the way that you want post-breakup. You know, post-breakup, you know, you lost your job and like things aren't going good. And just like, you know, you aren't, they're up and you're not. It's so many different things where like their ego and pride gets into it based on like all these different factors. And then it's like, no one's hearing each other. No one cares about what the other person is saying. And then there's no progress and there's nothing that's really happening in the interest of the child. And it's all about them instead of the interest of the child. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, just as you was talking, I'm thinking about a girl I know personally to where she ended up, you know, was being with another guy. I know they had a baby and the situation was going smoothly even after they broke up. You know, the co-parent situation was cool. But then all of a sudden he came to pick up the kid one day and he had a girl with him. And then he said the next week he was on child support. The next week things got toxic, you know, in terms of how they was handling stuff when it was going smooth for a year. So you definitely right in that aspect. I think people far too often let ego get in the way of what's best for the child. Even this right here, when we watch, well, you know what? I ain't gonna jump too far ahead, but we gonna unpack the video when we get to it. But just getting into the next question, I feel like this happens in our community a lot in comparison with other communities. I think, you know, other communities definitely have issues in terms of how they handle, you know, co-parenting or whatever. You know, they're not perfect, but I feel like a lot of times it's always us that's on this main stage of just ignorance. And I guess I want to ask y'all, like, what do y'all feel like that stems from? Why is it, you know, why do we have to handle things in such a volatile way? Kelly, what you think?
Am I being honest?
Uh-oh. Yep.
I think Black people are just known to be emotional, like versus being logical and reasoning what is best in the situation, what is best for the child. It's like you go off your emotions all the time. My father used to always tell me, I was a young girl, like he's like, Caucasian people, they expect you to be emotional. You always need to keep your cool. Don't get upset. Don't get mad. Don't erupt. Keep your cool. But instead of thinking logically through a situation and handling it with poise and grace, it's like this is eruption or this just it's always an emotion. It's never just, okay, this is what's best, this is how we should handle it, let's talk about it. It's an emotional response. My take.
Uh-oh, D, what are you laughing? What you think about that?
I had to take it back to the part where she said white people expect us to be emotional. Okay. Take it back to I was in family court and I had a white lawyer. And at one point, my kid's mother like raised up at me when we were in the little conference room. So when we get back to his office, he was like, that little thing she did, that little episode she had in there, he said, does she do that often? And I was like, oh, if I piss her off or I say something sideways, she gonna always snap. He said, do that in court in front of the judge. And I was like, he wanted me to use that something out like a trigger against her in court because he knew that she would break up. So yeah, that was correct. Like they do expect us to move a certain way, and they will trap us. They will trap you in that and use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Just real quick before we go any further, this is a situation that affects both sides because I done seen men to where he got a kid with his girl, and you know all of a sudden she start dating somebody else, and hold on, what nigga you got around my kid? Who is this over there? Like he better not touch my kid. He better not do this. He better not do that. When before that situation, everything was smooth. Everything was, was good. We was co-parenting. Now it might have still been a little sex going on, but that's another conversation. But everything was smooth. Everything was, somewhat copacetic. And then that man come in, and then that chest get poked out. That's one thing about men. We don't like people like, in stepping into our quote unquote, realm territory. You know what I mean? So it's definitely some emotional outbreaks. I've seen some, fist fights and different things like that on that end. If she call and say, hey, he did this or whatever, or even the kid will come back and tell the dad, yeah, dad, he yelled at me too loud, or he did whatever. So now he ready to go over there and shoot the whole crib up. So the emotional outbreaks is definitely on both sides, and I just want to establish that before we go forward. Ricky, what you think about just in terms of our community, or do you feel like it is a difference in how we handle, this co-parenting situation in terms of toxicity?
To me, it seemed like, again, this is just my personal perspective. Can't speak for nobody else. Especially in those toxic situations, people too busy trying to make the other look bad, and instead of being right for the person, because that get clicks and attention on, lives and Instagram and all that stuff. I mean, I think it's just immaturity at the end of the day, and ego. I gotta agree with Kayla on that. Like, people let their ego get in the way too much, again, for things that at the end of the day is going to be on you anyway. So you might as well get the understanding going in the first place and get your feelings out of the way, because that child going to be under you or until they're grown, or until, they get out of college, or however it goes. So it's not emotional intelligence happening on both sides of the table when it comes to that. But again, that comes down to just being intentional with who you're trying to see, who you're trying to be with. Because again, if y'all both mature and had the understanding that y'all was going to work it out in these situations, y'all be sitting down having conversations. So.
I think somebody said in the, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, Kelly, you good.
Something somebody said in the chat also is an issue that we like to get away from. We were speaking about that earlier tonight. There are people that are still sleeping together when, it's late at night and there's that itch and you need to take your son to school in the morning anyway. So you might as well come over here and, but then I'm single, okay, and I'm dating. And then now there's drama that has nothing to do with the kid, but now we're arguing about a lunchbox, right? So that's another thing. People are still having sex with their baby daddies and their baby mamas. Yes, they are.
And again, I got to be a bit ignorant in this aspect, because if I'm in the situation, right, again, territory, men are very, very territorial. And I feel like if she has my kid, I should always have access, always, regardless of what's going on, new man, this, whatever the case may be. And again,
access more like to the house or to the vagina.
You have access to take the trash out. You can come over anytime and do that. Your son also needs you to help him put together his science project. You have access to his
child support. If I'm paying child support, don't they say some of that goes towards the housing and things of that nature for the kid?
But what are you saying you should have access to?
Right. He's no longer housed in my vagina. So there's no reason why you would need access to that. He's out of here with you. You can pick him up.
We share him.
But that's what a lot of men think, though. Like, hey, that's mine forever. my kid came out of that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, again, let's just put it on the table. And again, I'm well aware of how arrogant and how unreasonable and how unlogical this sounds.
We're gonna keep doing this, man.
You know what I'm saying? But the male ego, I feel like if you have my kid, right, and especially if it's your only kid, we share a bond that's just different. You know what I mean?
She wrote.
This is some bullshit.
Hey, the truth of the matter is,
he's not wrong.
Taylor, you can't bring it up and then don't stand on it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we know this stuff happening, but again, that woman is allowing access.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right, but you know how people rather recycle people than go out with a new person. They feel like it's safer.
That body already counted. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You might as well ride out with it. But I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I hear what y'all saying, but we know the truth of it, right? You claim it's something that ain't yours. It ain't yours. You know what I'm saying? Like that child is yours. She ain't yours. She
But
ain't
you know
yours.
what?
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I don't think it's just you because I'm thinking about it, and it's like I think it's men. Someone said it too that men are territorial, so it's a men thing. I'm saying because 9 years later, he already made his life. He was with another woman. He has another kid, and sometimes he still dares to say, "Oh, I wish I have you." I'm like 9 years later. Come on,
Pass.
Yeah.
Pass.
not
But that's
even
because she let him
not even.
smash.
And
That's
the
because
way
she let him smash periodically over those 9 years, like during the dry seasons.
not even one time, and not even if he was the last man. If humanity depend on me, no, fuck humanity, no.
I mean, but I know a situation personally where the man, he wasn't spending no time with the kid, but he would still slide through after the kid went to sleep, come through, smash, get up and go home. And she was allowing it just to have a piece of him. And sometimes the dick is more important than the kid to
You know
some
what?
shit.
This is bullshit.
No way. No way.
Absolutely not.
And that's how people end up with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yes.
8, 9 kids.
By a nigga that they ain't even want the first one.
Exactly.
But he don't mind coming through there and shooting the
but-
club up over and over and over again
If
as
he
long as
ain't
you allow
paying
him
for
in the
stuff,
crib.
if he ain't paying for stuff, there is no reason he should even be getting any likely little bit of access.
I can add
What
more.
you got going on
I can
over there?
add more to
You better
it's the
bring some
same.
goddamn money.
It's the same story though. Dude needed
What are you
$5K.
paying for? Like, no, if we're not together, that's it. Like, sorry.
I know
My
it's
got a
baby
new
dad tried to
maintenance
play
man.
that.
That's
My dad tried
y'all
to play
though.
that.
I got a new maintenance man. You got
That's y'all though. We talking about the modern.
90% of the rest of the population.
Right, we talking about the modern woman. You know, so like I said, it's never the women we talking to. So let's move on.
Yeah, because I think, you know, again, Ricky touched on something important. Like we always say, like men feel entitled, and you're right, we do. We really do feel entitled to it. But it's like, where does that entitlement come from? Because typically, right, if we talking 10 women, probably 6 of them are letting their baby daddy double back, especially if she ain't moved on. Now, there's certain women that have moved on and still letting their baby daddy double back because the new dude is not hitting it the way that he's supposed to be hitting it. So, you know, when we get to, you know, exchanging kids on the drop off, I come over there and drop the kid off. You know, they in there watching cartoons.
You know
they
that's true.
slip to the back and do what they got to. You know what I mean? So these things happen. And I just don't want to be up here, you know, because again, on these platforms, we like to speak in, you know, ideal terms. And what y'all saying is 100% right. No, you shouldn't double back. That should be the end of this. It should be over with. That was our relationship. It failed. You got no more access.
And
but again, I want to salute to y'all and the other 3 women on earth that do that. But in terms of most women,
what?
You always got a chance
but
because
like when you break up with someone and there's no child, that's it. There's like you don't communicate.
Is
You
it
don't go
though?
back.
Is it though?
No, it's not.
That's
you double
what
back for at least a couple of months.
Right.
It depends on the breakup. It depends. If it was a mutual breakup, then you might still deal with him for a couple of months. But if he like did you dirty, if he did well for me, if he did me dirty, like no. But if like we just kind of like it's just not working anymore, like I mean, we can go out. I mean, we might go out, you know.
And let's not talk while we not talking about the conversations all the fellas that heard some girlfriends having. That's my baby daddy. I can have him when I want him. That's my baby daddy.
Oh, girls love doing that. They love doing that.
A girl already. So like I said, but it's our fault. You know, we men, we supposed to be the leaders. You know what I'm saying? So it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? So
stop smashing your baby mama so she don't have a reason to tell your girl or hold anything over the next girl's head or the current girl if you still smashing. But yeah,
it's all our fault, guys. We the leaders. We got a responsibility for all of
it. she was on bro ass the other night. I seen Jay Alexander. She was on you the other night, bro. I see you, but you held it down. No, I got to give it to you real quick. We're gonna welcome the dean himself. Smooth is in the building.
Yeah, bro.
What's cracking, my peoples? Cracking,
my boy. What up, big dog? I'm the fans is craving. The fans is awaiting your answer to this situation. In
I
terms of
don't know
dropping the ball,
problems.
that nigga lying already. But look, question is this. In the, co-parenting situation is a very complicated thing. I think everybody can acknowledge that. But if you had to pick one spot to where we really dropped the ball at, like what is the main disconnect between co-parenting in today's society?
Shit, communication, man. Communication. I feel like one party be talking too much and the other party don't be talking at all. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's how they was raised or they don't want conflict in the crib. You know what I'm saying? And from what I see with men, like most of them be saying, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Well, damn, you was ready to have sex with her. You know, so she had a baby with you. Goddamn, what you thought your soldiers didn't march when you was busting all in them? Oh, she told you she was on birth control. Well, she got you. So now you got to step up. But I see a lot of dudes they'll take all that and still dip and act like they never even had a child. Be in the club buying sections 3,000. Child ain't seen them in 3 years. God damn, man.
I agree. And question is, who do you feel like has to hold? Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say has to hold. In your experience, who do you feel like has been the main culprit in terms of the disconnect? Which side?
You're gonna battle the sexes on.
Trill always trying to pin it against trying to make it somebody's fault.
That's why I asked it. Look at the face. Look.
Hey, that's a hell of a choice. That's a hell of a choice. Man, I say it's both, man. Okay. I go like that because, man, you'll get a baby moms, right? And like from what I see and been looking around at certain men and all this shit, bro, the real men, they always get the shitty baby moms, bro. Shitty baby moms. But the motherfucker that got the PS5 smoking, she don't even put him on child support, don't require him to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Her only hope is, I just hope you pick up your child. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, put that motherfucker on child support. Put Pee-wee on child support. Stop letting Pee-wee drop off dick and come around when he want to come around. Just pick the baby up. All right, I'm cool. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But you got a real nigga. He want to come through. He got to stand at the door and the kid ain't there. Oh, I let the kid go out of town. What the hell going on, man? So, but that's a hell of a choice. That's a hell of a choice.
I agree. Just real quick, man. I'm again, the likes is down. Y'all stop what y'all doing. I think it's 400 some people in here. Y'all stop what y'all doing. Like the stream. Y'all getting quality content tonight. Y'all know it's only gonna get better. We still ain't even got to the main course. This shit gonna be funny as hell. I can't even. Okay. So, again, we are like real big on solutions. Like, what do y'all feel like is the main aspect of changing this dynamic, this disconnect in co-parent? If you had to just pick one thing, like what's like the main thing that, and again, we don't got to pick a side, according, in Kayla's words, we're not trying to create, separation up here. We're trying to come together and reach a solution. We don't have to point fingers and things of that nature, right? But if y'all had to pick like one key ingredient in terms of turning this shit around for the better, what would it be?
To me, at this point, men, raise your children if you can. Get your child off P. Don't even leave it. Don't even put it there. Take your kid, man. Right? The thing is, this is what I'm hearing. It's all on the man, right? We busting nuts and y'all, right? Fine, great. Y'all ain't got no part to play in it. Y'all empty passengers. Y'all just a receptacle, right?
Wow. Exactly.
Look at Kayla's face.
Wow. Magically open. Y'all just a receptacle.
I'm just joking.
Right. No, but this is what I'm hearing lately, right? So if we responsible, bro, right? If we gonna be held responsible for it, get your kid. Get your kid, man. Raise your kid, right? Because you can't have what I don't want to mess this up. Right. You gotta, if we're going to be held responsible, you can't have accountability without responsibility, right? You can't have accountability without responsibility. And seeing how at the end of the day, it comes back as us being accountable for it, right? In that case, what it really saying is if the woman doesn't have any choice, she's going to open her legs regardless. We shouldn't be shooting at the club. You should be a responsible man. So basically, most women are children in this decision making. So why would you let a child raise your child?
Ooh, y'all children on stage. Yeah. Hey, another thing, women got to start choosing their baby daddies right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew he was halfway with you. What you thought he was gonna be with the child? What you thought he was gonna be? A stand-up guy? He was just gonna miraculously turn into a stand-up guy.
She thought she was special.
Yeah, she thought, he had another kid that he was lying about. And the baby mama tripping. You about to be baby mom's tripping. Yeah, that's just what it is.
I would say husbands. I wouldn't say choose your baby daddies, right?
Exactly.
I think the term baby daddy.
Every woman just can't be married. Hey, marriage is not reserved for
yes,
all women.
Can.
Women choose.
I know some very unattractive women that are married. It's
possible. Choose who they
work with their man. I know a lot of attractive women that can't be married.
Stop having sex with them until marriage. If all women just shut it down.
No, you know why they can't do that, Kelly?
Men are gonna
too many hoes.
Kelly, you know why they can't do that?
They gonna lose to the streets.
It be snapping on them. Yeah.
Hey, but the truth is,
or they're human and they have needs too.
But but they human children because again, they're not responsible for their decisions. So again, why have your child raising your child?
I promise you, if every woman stopped having sex for 6 months, dudes will be on their knees all over the world. They will be we can't get the
yes, they would be.
Well,
the ones that like women.
There will be so many weddings. There were so many next year.
Yep. In 6 months.
If nobody gave it up,
man, as soon as she see them gray sweatpants, she gonna break all her codes.
Yeah. We just need another pandemic, lockdown for 6 months, 1 year, and then you're gonna have a more pandemic babies. But I think like we're concentrated. We'll always go back to stop having babies with it. That was the same thing that we were saying on the previous thing. It's that solution for co-parenting. The kids are already here. Marriage doesn't guarantee that you're not going to end up, divorcing and separating. So the point is a solution for co-parenting. What could make it better? And it's thinking about your kids. Stop being selfish and thinking about me and what is better for me as a woman or better for the man. At the end of the day, my dad said, you need to stop thinking about you and it's what's best for your kid.
I think also with co-parenting, you got to remove the feelings out of it. What you find is a lot of women can't co-parent with men because they still care about that person and vice versa too. I've seen some crazy ass niggas. Like, it's my pussy. Like no niggas, not yours.
Right.
And, not yours.
It's not,
I'm giving this pussy to this nigga now. But that what I have found is that even with my parents, once the attraction and being in love was taken out of that dynamic and it went to just being a friendship and a co-parentingship, then it was able to be smooth because it's like you got your chick, I got my nigga, like we moved on. Now we can put all our energy in just to focusing on the kid. But as long as it's an unbalanced parallel of somebody loving or being in love or in lust with the other person, it's going to always be an issue. It's going to always be a problem and I would tell any woman, if you care about your child's father and you still want to be in a relationship with him, and maybe you thought that your pussy was the magical pussy that was going to keep him from wanting other pussies, because women, we always think that like, no, I'm different. I'm special. Like, no, you're not. Not with that nigga, because that nigga's a narcissist. So no one is special to him. And we kind of bypass that, thinking that we can change him or love him into not being a narcissistic dickhead. When in reality, we end up with a child with a narcissist who don't even know how to really be a father to the child because he's still selfish. And so we've created another household of a single mother household. So really what it comes down to is that if you have a child with a man who you realize ain't shit, you need to be prepared to do everything in your ability to raise that child to the 10th degree and put solid men around him, a brother, an uncle, or somebody, because you still have to have that male figure in his life, and you have to take the feeling and emotion that you have for that other person out of it. Whatever he did to you, whatever you did to each other, it doesn't matter when it comes to raising and parenting that child. And that's something I had to do. I had to be like, you know what, I hate this nigga. But I wouldn't care if he got hit by a truck. But what matters is what my child thinks of him, and I'm gonna hold him up into light. And we even see that with Kanye and Kim's crazy ass. You don't ever see her going toe to toe with Kanye. He says that she's a terrible mother, she's a whore, she's got this thing. You know, she just be like, you know, he's a great father. It was ye who told me to do my stuff this way. It was ye who dressed me. She's always big up in their father because you want your children to make their own decision about their father, and that's how you keep the toxicity out of it. And you know, when they get older, they'll see if he's a narcissist or if he's crazy, but you don't need to put that your hate and your issues with him into your children. And a lot of women fail to do that. They fail to take themselves out of the situation, and vice versa, men too. Like, fuck that hoe. Like, stop telling my kids I'm a hoe, nigga. The fuck is wrong with you? You met me just like you met your other baby mamas.
Yeah, I agree, man. Go ahead, though.
I think one solution is just people just need to date with more intentions, especially if you're going to sleep with them. I think if it's more intentional, you at least like the person or have some kind of interest in them. But you got people who is, you know, one night stand babies, or I've been with you for a week and you've been pregnant or things like that. Like, it was never nothing serious going on. There was never any type of foundation. So that's a lot of pregnancies too that's happening. It's not, and I think those might be worse than those situations when there was actually feelings involved, because now those people are just toxic just to be toxic. You know what I'm saying? And that makes the situation completely worse. Now I don't need to be there in a sense because I was there for one night. I was there for 1 week. Like, you know what this was. So why would I try to repair something? And then you have the woman who's really trying and was like, the least you can do is be in your child's life. Like, yeah, you planted this seed in me. The least you can do is be here in some capacity. But on the guy's end, he's like, no, I'm good. Even though he's just as responsible. You know, I'm not taking, you know what I'm saying, nothing away from the man at all. He's just as responsible. However, you know, it's just people forcing situations that should never been there in the first place. But had y'all had some type of foundation set, it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, I would say in terms of, like, you know, again, going back to what Saida said about, you know, the baby's here. Now what? That type of thing. I think that's when maturity kicks in. And that right there is the solution. Like, people don't have a plan for raising their kids. And I feel like that's what the main problem is. A lot of times the kid comes at a time where neither one of y'all really wanted it. And it's kind of, all right, we just going to adapt to the, you know, best. We're going to make the best of this shit. It just is what it is. So now y'all are grasping for straws and scrambling and shit on how we going to raise them. But I think, you know, people need to take that a bit more serious, coming up with a system, coming up with a structure, just in case this shit goes bad. But what it is, people don't like to think negatively like that. I mean, I get backlash for, you know, saying that shit all the time in terms of planning for the worst. Even when y'all are happy, even when y'all are in, all right, if this shit go left, because again, we all know the stats, like marriages end at damn near 50% clip, you know, and all of those wild numbers like that, right? So what that boils down to is that we are playing a losing game. And what I mean by a losing game is that the odds of us staying together 60 years is way lower than the odds of us leaving each other in 3 years. So we need to plan accordingly. So if this shit goes left, we got some kind of system in place. Okay, you're gonna have a baby around this time. I'm gonna have a baby around this time. Whatever we could. This is a joint situation, or however y'all lay it out. It's up to y'all. But I feel like those plans and those, you know, that type of initiative needs to be taken because kids are that important. But when they're not taken, now you know y'all had a chance for ego to leak in. Y'all had a chance for emotion to leak in, and now we making decisions. Both of us out of emotion. You may be out of emotion because I done moved on, or me making decisions out of emotion because I feel like you coming at me the wrong way and you coming at me unjust. So now I'm responding emotional too, and now it's just both, you know, whatever. And the only person that suffers in that situation is the kid, and this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. They be so busy dick measuring that you forget that the kid is suffering every time that y'all argue, every time that y'all, you know, that it's awkward, that it's tension on the drop-offs and shit like that. Like your kid don't need to see that until they get, you know, at an age to where they can understand it. But if the kid's seeing that young, they more than likely to repeat that cycle. So again, I think it all boils down to just having a system in place. And facts being, Most people that have kids do not have a system in place, and that's where we go wrong at. So I think that's one of the main things. Real quick, man, shout out to Booker Ronan in the building. We appreciate you, G. Says things will get better when her intuition gets out of the shop with a better warranty. Jesus Christ.
Intuition ain't real. It ain't real.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Because intuition would have told her that nigga wasn't shit. He was going to run.
I just don't think that people understand the power of like
sex.
No. Oh, yeah.
That's
not what I was gonna say, but that is very powerful as well. But no, I was just gonna say, like, the type of esteem that it brings you just as a human being to know that you were planned. And I talk about that all the time because, you know, my parents met, they got married, they planned for me. And regardless that they didn't work out, you know, and they divorced, knowing that they planned for me, that they wanted me, that they were excited, that they couldn't wait, that they wanted me here. There's just something about that creates a self-esteem for that person to just go on and make better choices in life, just period. About themselves in general. It's just things that they won't do and will or won't do with themselves, with other people's situations that they get in, just because they have a different level of value as a person. So I just think that people aren't thinking about that. They're just thinking about themselves when they're having sex with these people that are clearly not even baby daddy material, let alone husband material. And just women, I mean, okay, with the child already being here, I know, you know, I do think that even if y'all are not together, y'all need to figure out a way to still be a family. Like, even once my parents divorced, there were some years that it was bad, but it got better. And my dad would come over and like have dinner with us. And like, we would do stuff without his wife, with just us. Like, you can still, I think it's still important for your kids to see you guys work together, regardless if it's romantic or not. Your kid should see you respecting his mother. Your kid should see you respecting his father, and y'all being able to be normal. You know what I mean? Because it takes a self-esteem with them. Is that like, maybe if I wasn't here, there wouldn't be all of this drama and animosity. You know what I mean? They don't really want me here. I don't feel wanted. I feel like I'm a burden. I think that's something was going around on the internet as well. A kid said something about like, I feel like a burden. I can't wait till I get out of your house so that I don't feel like I'm a burden. Like, it's always drama. It's always stuff going on because I'm here. You know what I mean? Again, not planned, not feeling like you're wanted, that they wanted you to be here, that they're happy that you're here. So it's honestly a cycle. It really is. But I feel like we're in the time of information, and there's enough information for people to be able to like change the trajectory. I'm sorry. Like, we got to stop with the excuses.
I struggle with
personal note. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, okay. Huh? So on a personal note, what'd you say?
Now go ahead. It's you, then Misha. Okay.
On a personal note, I was gonna say, I feel like in the beginning, with my son's father, our breakup, it wasn't the best breakup, but there were still feelings involved, and when those feelings were involved, we did not co-parent well. But as soon as he got a new girlfriend, I was engaged to someone else. It's like when we had our own separate lives, that's when we co-parented better. It's like, because he's not checking for me, I'm not checking for him. We don't really care what's going on with each other romantically. So our communication with each other about our son was better. And but I always made it a point, like piggybacking what Misha said, to never speak negative about my son's father to him. Because I always wanted him to be able to make up his mind about his dad. Like, I didn't ever want to give him any. He would ask me, like, what happened with you and dad? Because he was young when we broke up. What happened with you? I'm like, that's something we can talk about when you're older. And my son's 12 now. He just went to live with his dad. And his dad told him the whole story. He's like, so Mom, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I'm like, I personally kept your name out the dirt, and you're just going to tell him everything? He's like, well, Dad said that if I asked him a question, he was going to be real with me. I was like, oh my God. So he went and told him our whole story of how we met and broke up and everything. But we're able to laugh about it now because it's in the past and there's no more emotion between us. We're just friends and we co-parent well together because we don't really care romantically about each other. So I would say like a solution is to get on with your life, like get your own life and be happy and enjoy your life and not care so much about the other person romantically. Sure, you can care for their well-being, make sure they're good, but romance, like once it's over, it's over. Like I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't still sleep with them. I wouldn't mingle with them in any way other than for the child. So that would be my solution.
I mean, that's crazy though when you think of the mental change, because if y'all was together, y'all will be emotionally attached and you should be able to take care of your child.
You said if we were together?
No, I'm just saying in general, talking about in general how everybody say that the emotion plays a big part when you broken up and you still emotionally attached. But when y'all a couple, y'all emotionally attached and you're able to take care of your child without.
Yeah, but you're with that person. It's when you're broken apart and one of you still wants to be with the other person. Like if he were to get a girlfriend and I still was longing for us to be together, there's feelings there that are unresolved. That's what I'm saying. I feel like people should just move on. Like stop like pining for a person that it's not going to work with.
Right. So you don't think that falls more on a mature standpoint than an emotional well-being standpoint?
I think it's
how you handle it describes your maturity.
Yeah, I think
how you go about it is maturity. Longing and loving someone and not knowing that it's not going to work is an emotional standpoint. And I can want you and I can love you, but where it becomes immaturity is how they respond. Throwing the damn McDonald's in the street is immature. Right. The mature thing would have been is to let that son come downstairs and go with his father to eat the food. You know what I'm saying? The response is where the maturity comes. I can still love you. I can still long for you and know that you're bad for me and still make the mature adult decision to put my parenting over the way that I feel. And that's the difference. Yeah. One of my suggestions would be is like, so I know she said when you know that you're planned for. Even though my daughter wasn't planned, I knew that at some point I wanted to be a mother soon. You know what I'm saying? And I love being her mother. And I would do that shit over 100 times over. And I tell her that all the time. I think every night before we go to bed, I tell her, you're my best friend. She said, I'm your best friend. I love you. And I told her I love her and she's beautiful more than anybody else. So she's not impressed by somebody's dusty ass son in the future. You know? And I don't think that my baby daddy, the sun rises or set with his ass, but we have dinner together. I have dinner with his father. I do family days with him. Like, and it ain't like I got the time. I run a business. You know what I'm saying? He runs a business. It ain't like I want to do that. No, I don't want to do it. But she needs to see that dynamic that people can co-parent healthily together. You know what I'm saying? And like that's where it comes in. You have to be mature and say what she and he sees is more important than how I personally feel. And I want them to understand what a healthy dynamic is. Because fuck being together. You need to know how to have a healthy adult relationship with people that you may not like. You go to work every day. You don't like all your coworkers. There's coworkers you hate, but you still got to learn to work with them to get the job done.
That's totally different.
But Misha, was it like that in the beginning, or did you guys grow into that, or was it like that like as soon as you guys broke up?
You know what I can honestly say, and I can't negate this to myself. That's the dynamic I saw my father and my stepmother with. You know, when my parents split, my father had a pretty damn good relationship with his children's mothers. And he made sure that his kids were kept around each other. He wasn't the best father, but damn, he was the ringmaster when it came to getting the women to get along. They may have hated each other, but they loved us more. And it's because I just think he was just a real G. Like his kids came before, the lack of a better word, these hoes or these women, you know what I'm saying? Like his kids came before. So you either got on the train with the we are one family or you got off the boat. But every summer we spent summers together all summer. I spent my whole summer with my dad and his other kids. You know, every Christmas with my father. You know, my stepmother never treated me like I was her stepchild, and she never referred to me as that. When people asked her how many kids she had, she said all my dad's kids. And they be like, well, damn, how old are they? And they be like, well, they close to age. She be like, well, damn, you just got pregnant back to back. And she just be like, hey, So, so because I wasn't treated like that and I saw a healthy dynamic, and to this day, my dad is best friends with his ex-wife. They still talk to each other every day, and their kids are grown. So seeing that healthy dynamic, and I know my dad was a whore, a fucking whore, a whore. But he was a good man when it came to wrangling his children together and making sure that they had relationships and that nobody was treated better than the other. And I respect him for that. So because I saw that dynamic and I saw a woman doing that with children that weren't her own, it immediately put me in that mindset to say, you know what? I don't give a fuck how I feel about this man. Today I hate him, but today it's not about me. It's about the child I brought into this world who I wouldn't change for $1 million. She's my best friend. She's the most amazing kid in the world. I do that shit 100 times over. I love her.
I haven't gotten that mature yet. I mean, I agree that they should see it. I do agree.
Yeah, they have to, because they have to feel the love.
Yeah, I get it.
If there's love there, if y'all can't do it,
man,
then
here's my thing though. How can you not? That gave you something such an amazing blessing.
Yeah,
I see so many women
do it every day.
themselves.
Yeah,
I know there's some men like that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like my baby father, but I can't not have love for that man because he gave me one of the most amazing blessings that I am so grateful for to this day. And I know that wouldn't have came without him. So there's love and respect there. I respect you. I may not like you, but I respect everything that comes with it. Because you could have forced me to go to the chop shop. You could have stayed on my head. You could have been a bastard. You could have not showed up. You could have been a fuck nigga. You could have been the nigga throwing the McDonald's across the room. You could have been all those things. But yet you decided to be a father now in whatever capacity that is. That's not to speak on a podcast, but I still respect that man.
Yeah,
and you got to take the love out and put.
Would your dynamic change if you got like a new man and you guys were gonna get married? Would you have like dinner?
Absolutely.
So Misha, so you gonna be single forever?
What are we talking about at the bar?
Until she 18 at least. At least.
No, and I'm gonna tell you this too. And for women who say that their dynamics don't change if they get married, hell yeah, niggas feel away if you get married. Hell yeah, hell yes. I'd be lying to you if I said the dynamics wouldn't change. But I guess because I saw how another woman or how my stepmother and my mother wrangled it, that I just feel like I'm gonna navigate that shit like a Top Gun pilot. It just is what it is.
I don't.
Because at the end of the day, I signed up to be a mother first. I don't know if that makes any sense. I signed up to be a mother.
That take the men being mature. That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
It doesn't have anything to do with me, but I guess because I know what it feels like to be a child and not be connected with your father at certain points because the parents are beefing every now and then. I just, I want to protect my child so that they have healthy dynamics when they get older. So I'm not so pressed about dick. I got money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can fly myself anywhere I want to be, and I'm not so much pressed. I can get penis when I can't get shit to eat. A nigga pay a bill around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that don't excite me. I'm just in a point in my life where I'm more chasing a bag, and I'm more about making sure that my child is beyond happy and healthy and balanced. Every woman ain't about that. Every time I see some women, some of my homegirls, they got a different nigga. Every 6 to 10 months, like, bitch, you introducing another nigga to this kid?
And 3 kids? Damn.
Like, nah, my G,
as long as there's no kids, I'll see the problem.
He can't be seeing you with multiple, because my whole mindset is the first example of what your child should want in a woman or how they should carry themselves is how you carry yourself. So I just can't be out here with Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jerome and Keon and all whoever else. So like, nah.
I mean,
all right, hold on, real quick. Now we gotta pay some bills real quick. Kenny T is in the building. He's safe.
Man, fuck you, man. I'm gonna say it first. Fuck Kenny. Yeah.
Kenny T in the building. He said, cut the damn lie. The likes is below 50%. I agree. Y'all stop what y'all doing, man. Like the damn stream, man.
Kenny Kawhi. Yeah, Kenny Kawhi.
Kenny T is in the building, bro. Bro probably at work, or his ass will be right up here too. Booker Ronan again. He say, if we are brutally honest adults, then we should never allow parental politics and post-traumatic thought disorder to help pass generational curses to those following our examples, in my opinion. Look, Kayla face. It's hilarious. All right, man. Without further ado, I don't want to wait too long because that's how we be on here 4 hours. I told y'all we wasn't doing that this week.
No, not 4 hours this week.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Hell nah.
Hurting at work.
Please don't.
I ain't gonna lie. I woke up last week like, fuck.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say we ain't doing it this week. So we gonna get into the video right now.
Oh, we gotta watch the ghetto bird throw the McDonald's in the street.
Yes.
We do. We gotta watch it in full context. We're gonna go ahead and play it.
This
Most
is
women
so
are trifling. Look at
dramatic.
this. Look at these trifling women. This y'all representative. This y'all queen.
I don't know what
Shut up, Smooth.
All right, so hey, everybody mute up.
And disclaimer: she may not have dealt with her childhood traumas. Okay.
No, it ain't no might about it, but we go get into that immediately after as well.
Hey, that's women in a
Everybody
nutshell
mute up.
right here.
We gonna play it in full from top to bottom. We ain't got we got it in full. I've been saying people playing part 2, part 1, all that. We're gonna play it in full. So everybody mute up and then we're gonna react to it immediately after.
We have one kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids at McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry? What he like? What do you mean? Okay, what about my other kids? What about your other kids? Okay, but them your kids' siblings though. So what are you talking about? What are you about? Them my kids, them your kids' siblings though. So what you want? So my other kids finna be left out. You didn't feed them? You know I don't give my food stamps to the 7. Lisa, how is that my problem? But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out. I'm trying to help my son. But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings? Lisa, them are his siblings Lisa, though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating on McDonald's. Why do I gotta bring him out to the car? No. He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody. Lisa, so you telling me that I can't bring my son food? I gotta bring your kids food too now? Yes. You sound dumb. How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb. Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility. Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's? So you know I get food stamps on the 11th. 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine. Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me. No, I did. Yes, you did. You expect me to take care of all the kids? They're not my kids. Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids. Because I'm exposing. Everybody think you're such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this. You only come here with one piece of food for one child. The child that's mine, silly. No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it. Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I can maybe. You got it's 3 extra kids. What the? You all like going to my mother account? Spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids. Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb. So that's what you gonna go with. That's the one you gonna. Those are your fucking kids' siblings. They my. So that means yeah. So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat. I bring them food every other day. What do you mean? Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps But I'm saying we share the same kid as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel like I feel away about eating, take him in the room and let it.
I'm not taking my kid in the room.
Down to the car. He ain't got any for his brother. He come right out to the car and eat with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here. Give it here. Give it here.
Oh, I don't see that part.
He ain't eating this. You.
Why don't you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish is a like you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He's not finna eat that. Dumb.
Take care of him anyway.
Dumb. He's not finna do that. If you can't do it for all, don't do it for none of them.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to fight her ass.
I'm disgusted.
I want to fight her.
I
wanted somebody to tell me her act. I wanted to fight her.
Food stamp, she on Section 8.
So you got 4 baby daddies.
You don't got your shit
one of them
together?
show up, and now this one ain't gonna show up no more either. Because
So why the fuck you gonna deal with a headache?
You already got 3 other niggas that don't show up, and the last one that's showing up, you don't want him to show up neither, do you? What?
Couldn't even
You
take
don't
it
have money
off.
for food. Why would you waste food? I would have took the burger in there.
I would have let him come outside.
I would have cut it in
with his
4s. Okay, cut the burger in 4s. Give everybody. If they don't have, you don't have food. You gonna let your kids starve over pride?
No.
Are you serious?
Hey, my
I
thing
cut the
is,
burger up into 4 pieces and gave everybody an equal amount of
Nah,
fries.
he had a regular hamburger.
Kayla, no, you don't do that.
Does this really happen?
I'm saying if she's saying that her kids don't have food and she doesn't have money,
And if she
to feed
doesn't
them,
have food,
as
then
a
she don't need
mother,
them kids.
you do whatever the fuck you gotta do.
This is
She should have went in because I saw. Here's the thing: I saw her nails done.
They were done. They were
It's not
done.
even real.
So why the fuck is your nails done, but your kids ain't got no groceries?
Yeah, that $100 nails is done. You hear me? I bet her hair was slanting. You know what I'm saying? I bet all them bills is paid because of that Section 8.
But that's how you know she's lying, because if her kids really needed food and she really didn't have like literally no money for food, there's no way I can think in my head that she would throw food out. If she
what it came down to is that, and her pride, because she knew that she was lacking as a mother. If you can't feed your kids, and I'm pretty sure the other kids is like, why he get McDonald's and I don't get McDonald's? Because your daddy's sorry, baby. Mama was a hoe popping that pussy in a handstand, and I didn't make a good choice, okay? Now I gotta look at myself in the mirror every day like, fuck, I done chose not 1, not 2, but 3 fucking ass niggas, and I done had 4 kids. What does that say about me as a woman? And you know what I'm saying? And your kids gonna grow up to see that. And you don't think kids are stupid? They're not stupid. You know if your mama was a hoe, you know? And so as a woman, she's probably feeling the self-esteem of herself like, fuck, bro. These 3 other niggas ain't doing shit, and this one nigga doing everything, man. But that ain't the way you ask. And like he said, if you had 1 or 2 of them, I might have would have got McDonald's if you asked, but 3, and you want me to give 4 for all they badass to show biz? Yeah, not gonna happen every day, because like you said before, he bring that kid McDonald's every day. I don't know if you know the McDonald's menu, but if he do it $3-4 a day, 4 times 4 every day times 7, bitch, if you don't get off your ass and stop getting them nails done and make better choices in life, you know what I'm saying? She could have asked him, hey, if I cash app you $12, can you get the other 3 something? She had so many options. How about this? How you got them? How about that? You know, hey man, if I gotta give you a little
She
something.
ain't got no bank account. She ain't got no bank
Cash app
account.
does it require bank account? Yeah,
No, you don't need a bank account to have Cash App. You can have the money and then you have the cash card. And
hey, at this point, she needs to go sell some ass to get some food for them kids. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I guarantee she's perpetuating a stereotype and generational curses. And that's the reason why she acting like that. But you know, all she's doing is showing her kids how she shouldn't be living. And it's on her. You had all them goddamn kids. You had, the abortion law wasn't into effect. You had a choice. 21 to 24 weeks. If she in Illinois, she could have took her ass to New York. It's 24 weeks. Okay? You had a choice.
She thought them babies was gonna keep them niggas.
They're
Luckily,
not.
it kept one good nigga.
After the second one, maybe after the first one, I would have believed it. The second, but after the second one,
I'm trying to understand how she feels like you knew that I had kids. Yeah. How does that correlate to, because he knew that you had kids.
No, you made it look like you was taking care of them goddamn kids, and when the fucking well ran dry.
Hey, I bet y'all this though. I bet she's selling them food stamps on the 11th.
But it look.
Or is it the 7th?
Or the 7th because it's the 7th
Somebody
and
in
the
the comments
11th.
said it's Chicago because it's the 7th and the 11th.
Right. Facts.
Damn.
All right.
I have one thing in mind. I don't know. I'm not defending her at all. Okay, I don't agree. But I was wondering, is she acting this way because he's still around, what we were talking about earlier, and because he's still around, she expects him to provide? And
yeah, she expects him to provide for all the kids.
Here's my question.
Right. I'm saying that he's around, like
okay, are they still fussing?
giving her sex?
You don't know.
No, I'm saying maybe that's a possibility of why she's thinking that way, because so even if a man was willing to help, let's say pretend that a man was willing to help, I think the way that she's demanding is not right. Even if I was struggling, I could ask in a kind way, but she's so ungrateful and demanding the man to do something. Even if he was willing to do it, the way that she's doing it's just not right. And I'm not even defending, I understand her point that she will want to feed her other kids, which is not the case. I totally disagree with what she's doing. She's ungrateful and she's a horrible human being to me. But I'm just thinking, like, if someone had the intention to help, why would you expect for someone and demand that from that person instead of asking kindly? If it was me, I'll be like, you know what, can you bring this for the other kids and then I'll pay you, since the person is on the way. I don't know. That's something
in my opinion, he already did that and she finessed him out the bread.
That's
he got there. Hey, I ain't got no money. Let me get that food.
Damn. Never paid him later. So he said, I ain't doing it. But he's right. Food for one kid over food for 4 kids, it's financially a big difference. And she keep just saying it like money just grows on trees.
No, she said, but you're not.
You just said you don't get your food stamps till the 11th.
Siblings, like, okay,
hey,
siblings.
matter of fact, she got 4 kids.
What does siblings have to do with anything?
$700 in food stamps.
Nah, it's COVID. She get more than 700.
You know what I'm saying? What you doing with all that bread?
She getting a grand or more.
Yeah, hey, man.
She probably putting food in another nigga's refrigerator.
Not feed her kids.
Where the fuck is that money going, bro?
Hey, Pee Wee coming over there eating all them kids' food, man.
Is this food stamps on a monthly basis? Or
yeah, you get food stamps on a monthly basis. And she on Section 8. She got free rent, free food. God damn, are you still hurting? God damn, man.
Hey,
but she never did answer his questions. Where are the other 3 fathers?
She never will.
She was quiet as a church mouse. You got her rat piss on cotton the way she was acting. Nowhere, crickets, exactly.
Damn.
But they're still their siblings, though. Like what?
Man, okay. Hey, I was waiting on him to say, "Man, fuck them other kids." I was really waiting on him to say that, man.
He did say "fuck them kids," but he said, "Hey, I'm providing for mine."
No, because she said, "If you're trying to help out," he said, "I'm not trying to help out. I'm just trying to help myself."
He said that.
Check this. So everybody is stating the obvious. Everybody's being super hard on the woman. But I also feel that nobody's hard enough on the man.
Which one?
Well, he was supposed. Wait a minute.
The baby daddy. You talking about the baby daddy that's not there?
We're supposed to be men, right?
Yeah. Okay. What's
so
up?
That man should have gotten some meals for those 3 other kids.
Oh, just fuck them kids, bro.
But he probably couldn't afford to feed all 4 of them.
Hey. Just because that's not his kids doesn't mean he shouldn't be a good citizen. And
okay. Student. And he could have did that once or twice out the week.
No.
But he bring food to his child
every day. Every day? You gotta
I don't want to hear that. We're supposed to be leaders of our community, right?
So what, he should have got a $5 pizza?
Man, fuck
you. Got a $5 pizza.
I'm leaving my child. Fuck the rest of them kids.
Okay, so what he needs to do is take this video and go file for full custody.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
she already admitted she not feeding her kids. So
right, but hold up. Okay, let's put onus where onus is deserved. Right, it's his fault. It's his
Oh,
fault.
hell yeah. Because you knew, like she said, you knew what you were signing up for.
Hold up. Right. He should know that this woman was irresponsible, not capable of raising children. Why we keep letting children raise the children? Because again, this is what keep going out in the atmosphere. Women, y'all have the modern woman, excuse me. The modern woman has no accountability whatsoever, no matter what. The reason she even had those kids is because the man shot up the club. Hey, the reason why she ain't got no money and able to get her dick grabbers done is because of man, right? She got her dick grabbers done because she want to grab some dick, right? Right? Because of a man. So if we're responsible for everything, take your kid. Then you wouldn't even be in this situation arguing with her outside.
I don't believe that, bro. I'm not standing with that. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that.
I know.
Yeah, he honestly should have never had a baby with her. He should have never had a baby with her.
I mean,
he's being
and for
a
the people in
stand-up
the
guy.
comments that are saying calm down, I'm not gonna calm down because y'all give too many excuses to sorry ass bitches like this. She threw that goddamn food on the ground. I'm not gonna calm down. That shit pissed me off. So you don't like my opinion? Get the fuck off the line. Because at the end of the day, we allow women to say he ain't a good daddy. He ain't a good daddy. That man is a good father because you don't know where he's coming from. He could be coming from work. He could be coming from class. All I know is that he's taking time out of his day to stop by some store to make sure that his kid is getting fed. Now, it's not his responsibility to feed all three of them kids. Four. Now he had married her, that's a different story. He signed up for that. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he's going out of his way and that she maliciously and petty got on camera to say, I'm going to expose you. Instead of taking him to the side and saying, hey, you know what? My finances, I ain't made no good decisions.
Hey, baby,
I really need your help.
Did you stand on the toilet?
Huh? No, I'm in my. No, y'all was complaining about my goddamn shit out there.
Okay. No, I was just making sure because it was like.
Where the fuck would I be on the toilet?
I don't know. I see the towels in the shower.
Oh no, because I'm.
Don't worry about this man. Don't worry about this man.
What you mean? Don't worry about me. Look.
Anyways, back to the fact. People are saying calm down, and I feel like.
Don't worry about the chat.
Oh,
don't worry
this is that nigga. Oh, never mind. Anyways, I get tired of Black men who actually are being good fathers, and my brothers are those who get told that they aren't good fathers because they are not bending to the will of the woman. He's taking care of his child, and that's his responsibility. If she went to court, the court would tell her the same thing. And so I'm passionate about Black men who are doing their part and women like her who make the rest of us look bad because she's not getting her way for them three other goddamn kids that didn't nobody tell her to have. She had options. Roe v. versus Wade was not expired at the time, sweetheart. You made them choices. So pull your big girl panties up. And if you got to pop that pussy in a handstand, if you got to sell a little puss, if you got to go and get 3 or 4 jobs, you didn't make sure your other kids had. And that's just that on that. And that's my opinion. Nobody don't like it. Go fuck yourself.
I mean, let's not try to act like he's person of the year because he's clearly a rat because she's clearly a rat and he laid down with her ass and had a baby.
I'm not talking about
so he clearly isn't the best guy because he didn't make the best decisions. I mean, she said that his kid is the youngest. So he laid down with a ratchet hoe that had 4 baby daddies that already had 3 baby daddies. So let's not get this, oh, he's a great guy. No, but he's not. So let's not. He's just
so let me
trying to clean up.
No, I don't actually.
Let me play devil's advocate because we get a lot of single mothers who say, "Oh, well, you know, why doesn't he want to date me?" And we're always like, "Yeah, you should date single mothers. It's okay." You know, I don't know how. We don't know. I don't know how she portrayed herself before he got with her. I don't know what she was doing to make this nigga want to fuck her and want to have a relationship with her. I don't know. I wasn't there in the beginning. But what I can say is that clearly what she said and what he said is that he shows up every day to bring his child food.
Facts.
And the other fathers aren't. So
Facts.
I don't care what mistakes he made prior to. He's taking care of his responsibility now.
Hey, actually, he didn't make no mistakes because he could be like, the other niggas and don't show up at all.
He definitely could have dipped.
Wait,
Right.
so hey,
Could have been worse.
We using
Hey.
people that's not doing shit as a standard? What the
hey,
No,
I
no,
feel
no,
you.
that's
He's
not it.
doing what he's supposed
No,
to do.
but the,
Okay.
Again,
But she has
Yes,
three
but
others
compare
that
as a
are
father.
not.
He's not doing anything fucking special.
Okay, but
Not with the special shit.
the
He's
other
not
men that
doing
she had
nothing
babies with
fucking
not.
special. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and them other niggas not. They not.
Okay, so he's supposed to be penalized for that? That he's doing what he's supposed
No,
to
but
do?
he don't get no celebratory training that you're trying to give him. Like
I'm not giving him that.
This is why
No,
you
he's
should
doing
take
what
your
he's supposed to
children.
do.
Well, clearly it ain't coming.
That's why you should
Right.
get your children.
Clearly, it ain't common.
I guess I kind of see the mother's point though, because if a man brings one child something, and they're eating their food, and the other ones are sitting over there starving, and they don't have anything to eat at all. I don't really know exactly what she had in the house, but they have nothing to eat, and they see one kid eating a burger, juicy, dripping down their mouth, and they're just like, "Mommy, I'm hungry too. Why don't we have?"
I'm like, you
I
got a
can
good dad.
understand her point. However, I don't like the way she handled it. I feel like she's very unappreciative. She was yelling. It gave me a headache. I even had to like recoup from listening to that nonsense. I thought it was a skit. I don't think that was real. That can't have been real.
You know what though, Trill? Can I add something to this,
No,
Trill?
can I finish? Logic, you always
Oh, I thought you was finished, baby. Go ahead.
But I'm not. So, but what I would have done is I would have told him my situation. I would have been respectful, like, hey, I know that you're gonna go spend this money on McDonald's. Can you like give me the money and maybe I can like stretch it out and maybe buy spaghetti for the week or make a big meal for everyone or buy oodles and noodles or something to get us through until the food stamps come in. But again, like someone said, it was pride that gets in the way. That was just ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. It gave me a headache. And I can't believe things like this really happen in real life, but I guess they do. But I feel like it should have been handled unemotionally, and she should have requested him to help out. That money, instead of going to McDonald's every day, can I borrow it and we can feed all the kids? Because it would have been the same amount of money and it could have stretched out differently.
Like the pizza thing.
All right, hold on real quick before Logic go. Everybody in the chat, man, this chat is booming. Y'all make sure y'all like the stream. If y'all ain't like the stream, it's 600 some people in here. Everybody stop what you're doing right now. Like the stream. It's a 200-person variance. Y'all know we don't even play like that over here this way. So y'all stop what y'all doing. Like the stream. Logic, go ahead, gang.
Yeah, it's the saying that we get that women want these daddies to take care of the kids and their kids and their mistakes and all that. See, that's why I came up with this invention. And Trill, I'm gonna send you this. You can just put the cruise season on there. It's called the cruise season nut rag. We need more nut rags out here. Cause see, the problem is, I'll tell you, y'all get y'all a nut rag, man, and then it's flammable material, so you can burn it easy, so they can't take nothing.
What in the fuck?
That's what it looks like?
Hell no.
Look, hey, I'll tell you, look.
That looks like a cut up t-shirt from the gas station.
We is, because we try to save money. You know what I'm saying? This fucking inflation high as hell. So what we doing is we get goddamn some old jogging pants and we cut them up. We send them to y'all, man. Y'all need nut rags so y'all can protect yourself. Because if you see what you see today, it's like it's that man's responsibility to take care of them other kids. And if at the end of the day, that woman can't take care of them kids, then the state need to come get them. I don't understand how is this so hard but you know what? Women so entitled, they want equity and they want equality in the same voice. So man, get y'all cruise season nut rags. They will be going on sale. We'll have them in Atlanta. They'll be going on sale.
Twist?
No, the pull and twist that the pull and twist, that's another invention that's coming out. Well, look, shit, we can do advertising. You know what I'm saying? Pull and twist, man, is an invention that's coming out, guys. And it's we're gonna insert a chip in the side in your side. So when you're about to goddamn bust that nut, you know what I'm saying? It'll beep and then it'll automatically pull you out and it'll twist. We're not responsible for any kind of messes that it call over your house. Chicks' faces messing up their makeup. We're not responsible for any of that. We only responsible for that you would not get pregnant. This is gonna be the number one contraceptive. It's 100%. Right now, it's in testing phase. If y'all men want to actually go out and y'all want to be part of this trial, email me at keepitfunky@gmail.com, and then we'll actually set y'all up so y'all can get the chip in y'all side.
Oh, I thought that was exclusive to the Beef Network.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Rick, go ahead, Ricky.
All right, so hey, Kayla, you're absolutely right. It's not nothing special. It's what a man's supposed to do, and vice versa for the mother. The mother's supposed to be providing and nourishing for her children, right? But this is what I'm saying, right? When it comes down to it, even the conversations here on this panel, what it comes down to, besides Misha, because Misha, she 10 toes down with what the fuck she said, right? But when it comes down to it, you know, it's other kids in there, right? How does it look if the man doesn't bring anything for all the kids, all those babies hungry, right? So her bad decisions still fall back on the perception of what the man should and shouldn't do with the entire situation. So how we eliminate that? If he had his child, it wouldn't be no need to pull up with no McDonald's, right? It wouldn't be he have to worry about what she gonna say about A, B, C, D with her other 3 baby daddies and how she ain't got no money, because that's not even your situation. It's out the way, right? And like, hey, and women keep saying, I'm not even blaming y'all. I'm not even blaming women no more, right? Because the modern woman, because there are exceptions to every rule. But the
Why we keep
rule
using
is,
that term? This is a modern world. Everything is freaking modern. What in the hell?
take it the way you want.
Go ahead.
Take it the way you want, right? But the modern woman who don't want to get under a covering, right? Who don't want to associate or build and cooperate with a man, right? Who can't seem to keep a man. Let's say that, right?
People can't be kept, but go on.
It looks like to me that in most cases, right? You can, or baby moms, because the majority of women out here ain't built to be your mother's child or your child of your mother, right? Your mother's child. They built to be baby mamas. So how do we eliminate that, right? Take your child. It's evident, no matter what, it's going to come back on us, no matter how right you do. Because just like Kayla said, it's what you're supposed to do. Right? So this man's still sitting there doing what he's supposed to do for his child, and look how she tried to play him. Eliminate her. Stop giving her the excuse to even have something to say. Take care of your seed. It's your fault she got pregnant. It's your fault she didn't go to the chop shop. A, B, C, D. It all come back on us.
How would you recommend they do that? Because it's not as easy as just taking the
and I'm gonna coin that I came up with that cruise season word, chop shop.
That's facts. Hey, but for real, I don't think it's as easy as you saying it, Ricky, because his kid has siblings. You know what I'm saying? So how does it look if he take his child, you know what I'm saying, and it look like they stay in the same city and they're gonna go to the same schools and all that shit there, knowing, hey, I got brothers and sisters out here, you know what I'm saying, starving and shit, and I'm doing well. You get what I'm saying?
That ain't the kid. The kid ain't even
understand it, but you gotta also think about your child and what they gonna grow up in. Kids are cruel, bro. Kids are cruel,
and so is the world.
And siblings feel different shit. Siblings feel, you know what I'm saying, like if somebody got a dad and they don't, or if they mom treat the other kid a certain way and all that type of shit there. So if you take that kid from that and he go live a hell of a life, a great life with his dad do what he's supposed to do and all that shit there, and then the other kids ain't got shit, they gonna look at him like, you was a privileged child, motherfucker. You don't belong with us. That's his brothers and sisters.
But where are you raising this child to live? Because in the world where this child has to go out and live, that's how the fuck it is. It's not fair out here. Nobody owes you shit.
That's a fact.
People are gonna live their lives, whatever. Your coworkers, people. It's not fair. That's not fair. Life's not fair. Shit's not gonna go right all the time. Everybody's not gonna do what's right all the time. So why do we? What are we sugarcoating it for them? So for what? If that's what the situation is, you need to get them to understand that this is what the situation is and figure out a way so that they can understand that things are not going to always go your way, but you have to persevere and find tenacity to move on with your life. What is this whole like? How are the other kids going to feel? They're going to feel bad. That's what happens in life. Sometimes
that can be taught under one household.
Sometimes shit goes bad.
That can be taught under one
household.
Hide it
from the kids. They need to know like that shit's not always going to be peaches and cream. Like, who are they going to feel?
Hey, I got a question.
It's not just peaches and cream. It's her job as a mother to make it better for the other kids. You chose
to have thought about that before.
Yeah, but that's what you thought about.
Actually, I wanted to say
like
something
before. The actions have consequences. Now it's time to pull up your big girl panties, and you got to do what you're supposed to do. And I don't want to hear that fucking whining and, oh, their daddies aren't. Okay, bitch, but they're still your kids. So you need to do the best. And I don't want to hear that shit because my mama got out the fucking mud every day and getting motherfucking doctorate degrees while she made sure that we didn't go without. So I don't want to hear those excuses of, well, the other fathers aren't helping. And your arms work, your mind works. Get to work.
All right, hold on. Real quick, Logic. I'm gonna come right to you. But Sayeda, go ahead. You have something to add to that?
I wanted to say that since we're speculating because we don't know their story, right? And going by what she said, that her kid is the youngest, obviously he was involved before that. And sometimes I feel like a man that is willing to accept a woman with more than one kid, because nowadays men don't want to be with a single mother, and he kind of dealt with her having 3 already. So to me, honestly, I have to say, a man that accepts you with a kid and is willing to provide for that kid, helping you, is a blessing nowadays. And if he was around and he was, now what I don't like is when men knowingly and they're willing to deal with it and they go into it and they are feeding these kids, and then once they don't have access to the woman, they're like, okay, I'm done with you, and they forget that those kids get attached to you. Like you were a role model to these kids at some point. And I'm wondering if he just cut the relationship like that and he's no longer involved. And it's like, okay, you're just like whatever object, and I'm done with you. So I'm in that aspect, I would say that the man is wrong for that, because he was already aware what he's getting himself into. Either he signed for it or not. He was very aware of who she was and what she came with.
So you're saying like he lived with her and he was taking care of the kids, and then they broke up, and now he's no longer even speaking to the other kids, just his. What?
Even if they were not living together, like how can you go out with someone and just procreate with that person, have a kid with that person, and not knowing that person has 3 other kids? Like, I don't know. If I was a man, I'm thinking, if I was a man, how can I not be aware that this woman cannot deal with 3 kids? Like, why am I going to do that?
To her and those kids for the rest of his life?
You got 2
No,
sides.
I'm not saying that he's supposed to do that. I'm just saying that. I'm saying that he was aware that this was happening. He was aware that this was happening. I'm saying that he should have been more mature. That in this case, I cannot take responsibility away from him, because it's not just something that 3 kids is not something you can hide under the under the pillow.
Shit.
No, he knew, but I still just.
Can you?
I still just don't get that. Like the man that my mom was engaged to, like majority of my life after my parents got divorced, I don't feel like he owed me nothing. Like they're not together anymore. That man doesn't owe me anything. He's not my daddy. Like,
Kayla, that's because you're mature. You're emotionally mature.
But like, what is this narrative that like because he was with her at one point, that even though they're not together anymore, he still has some type of obligation? And I found out on TikTok that he has other kids with other women, other places.
Oh,
so how's he gonna feed kids that are not his kids when he has kids to feed other places, including the kid he has with her? Money don't grow on trees. Everybody making it seem like it's this easy. Like all this money is just readily available to just spend. And maybe
people owe you anything. I don't think people owe you anything. I don't think people owe you anything. Nobody owes you nothing, but I think you could appreciate. Nobody owes you anything, but you could appreciate. Like, and that's the mentality a lot of also single mothers have, that, oh, you're not the father, and that's why, you don't have the right to say nothing to my kid, but the man is paying for everything. Like, you should appreciate. I'm not saying that you're gonna allow your kid to be abused or anything, but it's like, it's not owing you anything. It's just that you're appreciating what the person is doing. Like, I also see every single side of the picture. I'm not just focusing one single point. Like, it's hard to just point at one thing or one person when, like, it's like the man was blind, not seeing where he was going. I cannot take that responsibility, but I cannot also say this woman it's okay for her to feel that she needs to feed 3 other mouths.
Okay, I'm gonna flip that. Okay, so let's put it to a woman, because like, let's never forget, Holly Berry was married to Eric Benet, right? He had kids, she didn't. His kids were living with him. When she divorced him, he wanted child support for their other kids that weren't her. Dead ass. So is she obligated to financially take care of them stepkids after the marriage is over?
Fuck no.
What
Fuck
woman's
them
gonna,
kids.
what woman's gonna agree with that?
I don't think so, but things also
them
change when you
kids.
get married. So we all understand that.
Man, fuck them
It
kids.
depends on what type of person and how you are. Because if you really care for those children, like if they were yours, like I found out, I was engaged long time ago. He passed away, but when he found out that he had a kid, he didn't know. Like the woman didn't tell him that she got pregnant. He found out until the baby was like 6 months, and I'm like, he was very afraid to tell me, but it's like something that happened when I wasn't even in a relationship with him, and I'm like, why are you like this? You know, I'm not going to be mad for this. This happened before me, and you didn't even know the kid existed. Is she asking for help? No, she wasn't. She wasn't. But I was like, it's my, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like I wanted to help. Like, you need to help that kid. Like, I told them, no, we're going to help that kid. And we started bringing groceries to the baby. I don't care. It's just me. I see that kid now and I'm like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I fed you. No, I did it because it made me feel like it was my responsibility. Why? Because if it was my kid, I would want the same thing. I cannot ask that for it from everybody. It's just it's something in you that if you want to do it or not.
All right, Logic, go. Logic first, and then D right after him.
Yeah, no, I just got what's up, crew season? What's up, player Smooth? What's up, player? Hey, I got a question for you, brother.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, man. You know what I'm saying? You dark skinned brother, so you should know this though. Have you ever tried to negotiate with a pit bull?
Hell no.
Have you ever tried to negotiate with a hammerhead shark?
Hell no.
Have you ever
I ain't even that deep, yeah.
Have you ever tried to negotiate with a hyena?
Hell no. I got my pistol out.
You got your pistol out, right? So why we think we negotiate with terrorists?
Hey.
The thing is when you talking to people that got leverage, that hyena know he got leverage on you. Mm-hmm. He know he can tear you up in a split second. And he know he got other hyenas that can come tear you up. The same thing with the hammerhead shark. You in the water. You don't have the advantage. He know he can tear you up in that water. And then everything else in life that gets the advantage, they will actually protect that advantage. And that's what we'll call them terrorist type animals. When you see women that will not negotiate, will not even concede to points of facts, brothers, I'm telling you, they terrorists. You can't negotiate with them. I will just look at them. They look pretty and shit. You know what I'm saying? They sit in the bathtub and all that kind of stuff like that. They pretty. Take it like that. But you can't not negotiate with them. They're going to run into circles and they're going to blame everybody but themselves. The thing is they should blame that lady because she's a terrorist. You know what I'm saying? That predicament, that dude did a wonderful thing for even considering that chick with all them goddamn kids.
Facts.
But guess what? Now, if a man get up in here and say, oh, she got 3 kids, I ain't fucking with her, right? Then the women be like, oh, you're emotional damage. Why you won't mess with no kids? No. Keep it a buck. Oh, that's Ricky shit. Keep it a buck. Keep it a bean, whatever you say. These women want everything. They want to be equal to men, and they want equality too. They want equality. They want equity. They want to be equal, and they want their special benefits. This is what you're seeing. They are terrorists. Stop talking to them. Stop negotiating them. My nigga Smooth, though. I got to give you a shout out, my nigga. All right, that's all I want to say.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Logic, man? That I think like with women like that, bro, like, and with the women getting all they shit like men, kudos to the women getting they shit, right? But when you become basically a modern woman and you want to sit at the table with men, you got to eat everything on that table too. You get what I'm saying? Because men eat everything on the table and we try to eat as much of it because whoever get the most is the litters at the table. You get what I'm saying? The problem is women that sit at the table and they want to pick at certain things. Oh, no, I don't want that. Oh, no, that don't benefit me.
I'm
men don't look at
lactose
it like
intolerant.
that. Huh?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Hey, well, get your ass up from this table. You know what I'm saying? So men don't look at it like that, but women do.
Your ass
And they
is
think they
too.
got special privileges. No, you want to play in the realm of men? This is how it works.
Look, check this out. I was on Kayla's show today, and Kayla said she expect a man to get the nut rag, right?
Yes, I
See,
do.
listen, that's why I came out with a new
I
brand.
call it a warm towel. I don't know why Logic feels the need to name it that, but it's just I think at the end that you should go get the towel and do the cleaning up.
Okay.
After
And
you
you
done all that work, damn.
see, this is what I'm saying.
And then
This-
after
my
you're
bad.
done cleaning me up, then I'll go like make us some food or like something to drink.
But
That's fair.
I mean, that's fair. But why should he go get the towel? I'm just
Because
curious.
I think for the carpet's sake, it's only safe because if it's like
Facts.
everywhere and you get up, it's going to be everywhere.
I'm
I
trying to
think
see
it's
you
better
walk
for
to the
you to just
restroom.
lay there and then let's just get it all up.
Man, fuck that carpet. You hear me?
I've been in both positions. I done had chicks go get it, and sometimes I go get it. It's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah,
It just depends on who put in more work and
I'm not
and
going to
where
get it.
all
Said
the
only
No.
simps go get it.
Hey, you know why? You know
Yeah.
why men want to see you go get
Logic
it?
said that. Logic said only simps get the rag.
And
And
I'm
you know
still-
why men want to see you go get that rag?
my soul.
Because the carpet deserve its burn too.
What?
Get your
Wait,
ass
see,
up
wait,
and
wait,
let
wait.
it drip
This
on
is-
that carpet.
Hold on, let me explain this concept. This is why I can't with some niggas. Niggas is terrorists too. Y'all women ain't alone. Niggas just harbor terrorism. I'm gonna tell you this. The thing is, the nut rag is never for the woman. The nut rag is for the man.
It's
The
for the
nut-
nuts.
No, listen. Okay,
Yes,
all right.
it is.
All right,
Hold
so
on,
now would you please just listen? See, this is a problem. Y'all don't listen. So now when I explain it, you be like, oh, that makes sense now. I should have shut up 5 minutes ago.
I'm never gonna say that.
Logic, before you say this, can we
No,
take a survey?
don't.
Can we take a
No.
survey?
We ain't gonna do no damn survey. How about we take
Before
a
you
survey?
say this, can we do a survey?
Yeah,
Can we
before
do-
you say it, let's
Hey,
see how many
Steve,
people.
Let's
You
do a
guys-
survey. Which one of these women can be submissive and just listen for
No,
one?
no,
No,
no.
I want to know before
Okay.
you say this, because once you go
Definitely.
off, everyone's gonna change their opinion.
I think all the men know.
Okay, so
Do men
hands
get
up
the nut rag?
if you get the nut rag, or if you think the woman should. One in the
Men
chat.
should get it.
One in the chat for women, 2 for men. Who should get the warm towel lads?
The woman, man, the carpet deserve to see some nut too.
Why?
I just put up a poll.
Your
The
carpet.
carpet in the room hearing us. He want to see.
Hey, real quick, everybody in the chat. I just put up the poll. If y'all feel like who's responsible for getting a nut rag, the man or the woman, y'all tap into the poll, man. We're gonna come back in 5 minutes and see who up.
Yeah.
But y'all continue.
All right, let me say my point now. Since we got a poll up, we got ones in the chat. Maybe these terrorists will stop interrupting me.
You always interrupt me, Logic. You always interrupt me.
Hey, okay. See, I can't even get a word out. Look, the thing is the nut rag is never meant for the man. The nut rag was hold up. The nut rag was never meant for the woman. It was always meant for the man. The nut rag is for to clean up the man. The women go to the bathroom and pee and do all they shit and they clean themselves up. They come back with you a nut rag. That's the whole concept of a nut rag. If a chick is laying on a bed and I go get him a nut rag, nigga, I'm the weakest nigga on earth. I never got a nut rag.
Okay, what if
That's because you didn't put in work.
Because
okay?
I got my own
She's laid
thing, 'cause
out.
I always clean myself up and then I bring her a rag.
Damn.
You see that?
Yeah. And
He
anytime
always gonna get it. He always gonna get it because he know what to do.
She go get the warm towel. I'll make up the bed.
Okay.
Gotta change the sheets first.
Yeah, you gotta clean
Right.
that shit up.
That's what I'm saying. I'll
Nah,
make up the bed.
I ain't changing shit to the next
Logic
day.
want the woman to do everything. He don't want to do nothing.
I ain't changing
Not
shit
one
to the
thing.
next day.
He said that he wouldn't even go and get water. I said, if I ask you to go get me some water, you're not even gonna give me some water? And
No,
you about
that's
to
your job.
get in my bed and get some of this? And you can't go get me some water? And
Yeah.
he said no.
That's your job. Because guess what? I pay for that water. That
I
water.
offer the chick, yeah.
Now you pay for the water.
Especially if it's a hotel, that water $3.50.
Nah, well,
I am so sorry for the ignorance. Sorry for the ignorance, but for the context or for what you're saying, I think I'm getting it. But what is the nut rag? What is that? I am lost.
Oh, they don't have nut rags in El Salvador.
I'm like, what the heck are they talking about?
She said,
said,
the dick is
she
dirty
said,
and it's wet. You got to get it wiped off. You got to get that woman off of you. You know, the little wetness in your nut off of you. So she go get you a warm rag and she wipes
It's her face.
and it, no, and the thing is that if you hit that pussy right, her neck all gonna be all over you. That's what the nut rag is for. She gon' hey, no matter what, if you're going
you're
wrong,
not using condoms?
listen.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
I'm married, so I don't know.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen now, because if you let me finish, then you'll hear it. Whether you're using a condom or not, you cannot control her nut on you, so it doesn't matter. So that's what I'm saying. Her nut gonna be all over you. That's what the nut rag is for. Now the dude
both should just go to the bathroom.
hold on, wait, hold on, Kayla. The dude in a spaceship that's saying he get nut rags, I don't know what's wrong with him.
Spaceship.
Yeah, who that underneath you in the spaceship?
Oh, D-Foss.
Oh, okay, yeah, the dude in the spaceship that said he get nut rags.
Oh, Gino said, nah, sometimes the lady ain't.
Hey, sometimes that's just what it is. We just take turns,
the
man.
lady ain't even able
She
to
might
move.
get it on the first round. I might get it for the second round, and we just go back and forth. That's just whoever more wore out after that round, they gonna lay there and chill into the next person.
That's
Exactly.
good. Give and take. That's
Exactly.
a relationship.
That's
I think I will appreciate he bringing it, but still I will want to clean myself after.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said this should already be nearby, but that rag gonna be cold.
Oh, this rag gonna be cold, baby. No, it gotta be warm.
But
That's gonna be a cold ass rag.
Hey, let me tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all some game because I love y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some game. What I did is once I got my bread up, I got me one of them things that the barber use where I got unlimited.
Boy, shut up! He has one of those little fridges. He has like that little fridge where they keep the warm towels in.
No, why these terrorists
never
never
at the nail salon? You see
No,
them at
I
the
ain't
nail
know.
salon? Those little fridges.
Can I give game to my brothers?
This nigga bought a towel warmer.
Listen, it only costs $4.50. You can get it on Bed Bath and Beyond. You can go to your barber supply store.
$450.
Oh, that's different.
Y'all, please let me finish, bro. Oh my God, y'all terrorists. Finish. God damn, let me finish. I'm just saying, all y'all gotta do is get that little thing. I'm telling you. Now you ain't gotta worry about the chick getting on nut rags. Cause you got unlimited nut rags. You know what I'm saying? But she still got to pick the nut rag up in the morning because that bitch gonna be hard and crusty.
That's different. So
No, we at your house.
Send her to the bathroom. You're like, baby, reach over in the fridge and get a nut rag. It's right there. That's different. All she gotta do is reach over and get it.
What? First of all, you put it in a hamper when you done. Why the fuck would that just be randomly on my floor? What? After you wipe your shit, you put it in the hamper. What in the hell?
Come on.
So, all right, man. We gotta reel this in. Hold on, real quick. We gotta pay some bills, man, real fast. Y'all crazy as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Tony Talks in the building. Say best podcast out right now. We appreciate you, G. That's love.
We know that already, Tony. Big dog.
That's a fact.
Big dog, Tony.
Kenny say, calm down. Me. Shout out to Kenny T in the building. Maurice, he said, y'all got to get the video. Which video? Hold on, I'm trying to.
The video with the nut rag.
What?
Oh, hell no. I don't get no video with no damn nut rag. Your neighborhood clinician, shout out to bro. Say logic is off the chain. It's so true. Astro Sport, we appreciate you. So I don't have any sympathy for him and her kids. If you made your bed and you should have slept on it, stay away from single moms. Now you want me to feel bad. Jesus. Glow Black Lister says, nah, sometimes the lady ain't even able to move. Oh, you talking about after the sex?
That means you did a good job, okay?
He's gonna be laying there.
If she pop up with a bunch of energy, you ain't did shit.
Man, so what? So the man gonna tell me if you not that shit start crusting up on you. You telling me, and she gonna lay there, not knowing that she's supposed to get the nut rag. You telling me you ain't kick that man? I'd have kicked the motherfucker out the bed. And then I let that shock wake her legs up.
Because you're dealing with thoughts from the Walmart. When you're with a woman that you actually care about, You're
should've
going
went
to
to Target.
do the pushing the plug. It's going to be like a
Kayla,
shared
do you want to go here? Do you want
I'm
to go?
just saying
Do you want
that
to go?
behavior you're talking about
Kayla,
is
I'm
for
asking
women
you.
that you don't care about.
Kayla, I'm asking you. Do you want to go there?
Kayla, do you ever make those calls on your
I
show?
did. Yeah.
We did. We called. Kayla is 2 for 2. We called 2 different women, and they both agreed with me, and they both said that Logic
You
got the
ain't
nut
called
rag.
nobody.
I
called them.
We did a
You say
live
Logic got the
session.
nut
We
rag?
called some of Logic's lady
I
friends.
just said I did
asked
what I
them.
did. So see, I keep it funky. I said pick an alphabet, and I had to call somebody out the phone, and I asked them, and they asked them, is Logic the type of nigga to get nut rags? And then they
The
both
first
said,
girl said yes.
because she was trolling y'all. I told her she was on the live.
Y'all. She said
Okay.
yes. And then Logic started to react, and she said, and then she tried to change
that
the
girl know
answer.
damn well I don't get no
The
nut
first
rag.
girl said, yeah. And then the second girl said, Logic's the type to probably make a bad joke and probably won't do it. But the first girl was like, yeah, Logic would get the rag for me. And I was like,
I call 2 more right now. I ain't got
no, we're okay. We are all right.
Hey, hold on.
You're a
real
terrorist.
Quick before you do. Real quick. Shout out to Quest in the building. What up, bro? Say it's in the Bible. Thou shalt get those nut rags.
My nigga. I better get the nut rag.
Oh yeah, because on my show he brought up the Bible and how in the Bible it says that the woman should get the nut rag, and I'm just like,
First Corinthians, right?
Yes,
All
First
right.
Corinthians 1 chapter
No
1
more.
verse
You
25.
can't make stuff up. You cannot misquote the Bible. You need to stop.
Baby wipes on the nightstand.
So y'all don't even have baby wipes on the nightstand. Shout out to Mo Lips. What up, B?
Dude wipes? You talking about dude wipes?
There are there's a wipe warmer.
They're called dude wipes.
Somebody said you should have a towel warmer up next to the bed.
I got one.
In the bathroom though.
I got one now, but when I was a jit, I couldn't afford
So somebody also said that women should go get the rag since they got to pee anyway to keep their pH balance.
But you do know that men are supposed to pee as well to clear.
I do. I know I do.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right. Real quick, man. We're gonna bring.
So we should go. We should both go to the bathroom.
And take a shower together. How romantic.
Oh no, that's too romantic. We're not going there.
That's gonna lead to some more shit right there. Hold tight.
That's perfect.
All right, hold on. We're gonna bring up She right now.
Maybe because I don't
She,
have
what up, B?
I'm not in love with. Maybe that's why.
What's going on, man?
Hey, shit, big dog. What you think about this whole chaotic video that we played earlier, bro?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
you
what's
good.
up.
All right. The biggest thing for me was, like I said, she was demanding the dude to give her stuff. Like, she wasn't even asking. And seeing that situation, she could have actually said, you know, since you buying stuff for your kid anyway, I need the money. She didn't ask him like, hey, can we work something out to where I can get this money, go buy some groceries, and I can cook. She worried about him buying food for everybody in the house versus trying to get some grocery money. You know what I'm saying? She already disrespected him from the jump. I mean, even with the I forgot what Misha, one of them was saying how, yeah, the dude he messed with a chick that had 3 kids. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But like y'all said, when it come down to it, a lot of chicks they shame dudes for not messing with the women, and he gave her a chance and it didn't work out. So whatever it was his fault, it was her fault. At the end of the day, he said, I'm gonna still be a good man. I'm gonna take care of my kid. You know, and she trying to put the onus on him to take care of 3 other kids that's not even his. That right. Yeah, I mean, but when it come down to it, bruh, it's like, hey, she just trying to push more game. She trying to run the game on him. Because, like I said, the whole time, her nails was done. You seen towards the end where her hair was, done when she was coming back, like the little scrape. But she was trying to push it on him, like, you need to step up and be a man. And my thing is this. If a dude's going to do that, he going to do that out the kindness of his heart because he don't really got to do it. So when women try to push dudes in that, that corner, like, hey, you ain't got no option, he always got an option. He just won't buy the other kids stuff. And see, that be the biggest thing with a lot of women when they try to push these dudes to say, hey, if you deal with me, you got to deal with my kids. That's a fact, 100. But if I'm not dealing with you, I don't have to deal with your kids. I just got to deal with my kids. That's like, I seen a video where a dude, he bought his son Jordans, and the chick got mad and took the shoes back and bought all the other kids, you know, saying little cheap shoes, and his kid a cheap shoe. And when the dude was like, "What them Jordans I bought my son?" She was like, "I took it back because he couldn't be the only one with Jordans." And it's like, so basically, when it come down to it, my child got to suffer because you neglecting or the dudes that you deal with, you know, not stepping up to the plate. Like, when did that become a thing? Because I made bad choices in my life. I got to make my kids suffer behind that. And you need to step up and man up, you know, even though we not together. Like, that don't make no sense.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It would have been violence if my kid come back and tell me that them bread 11s that I bought him, she took them back and bought all the kids K-Swiss. I ain't gonna lie to you, it would have been violence. But again, I think
Some lugs.
Hell
the
no.
shacks.
British Knights.
Bought them the shacks for $12.
Yeah, bro. Go to Walmart and get the whole collection.
Nah,
Yeah, hell no.
$20 more.
I need
Yeah,
my
no,
money.
man. I think, you know, as far as kids, bro, and I think that's what the big disconnect is in terms of child support, things of that nature, right? Is that, you know, men always be worried about where they money is going, and I feel like that's a valid reason as to why. So if I intend for my kid to be living a certain lifestyle that I want him to live, and I'm sending money for that, and because you got other kids after me right now, his situation, she had the kids before him. That's something totally different. That nigga's insane. If it's me, I'd have been out of there. But I'm talking about in a situation where, say, me and my girl have a kid, whatever, the relationship don't work. She have other kids after this shit over. I'm still paying child support. She taking my child support money and distributing it amongst all the kids. That's not what I'm paying for. And I think that's what the disconnect. That's why most man, I want to see where my money is going. Because if I'm sending you $1,000 a month and you only taking 200 of that and spending it on my kid, we got a problem. And especially if you spending it on kids that ain't mine. That's my only now again, if I want to do something for the other kids, that's a whole separate conversation. But if I'm sending money specifically for my kid and you just making a constant decision, you know what, fuck it. I think that all the kids should be dressed evenly, or I feel like all the kids should be dressed this way, it's gonna be violence. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I think child support should go on like an EBT card. Like
It does.
I think it needs to go on that.
It does.
No, it don't. It get direct deposit.
We get
onto a card if you don't have a bank account.
Yeah, it go to a card if you ain't got.
No, but it needs to be governed to where you only can buy shit for the child, and you make and take. If it's enough, you can take so much cash off to help you pay for shit.
See, this is a perfect example why I say women is terrorists, right? Kayla, is you on child support?
What?
Are you on child support?
Am I on child support?
Yeah.
I don't have any kids.
Okay, you ain't on child support, or you won't get child support, right? So you don't really know you don't know the system, but y'all always, you say, no, it goes on the child support card. No, it goes to their bank account.
No, it goes on a card. My mom had my dad on child support. I remember using that card to buy school clothes. I know what I'm talking about, Logic. I don't have to have kids.
Yeah, it can go on a card. It's a card option.
Yeah, but that card needs to be governed.
It go on a card if you I don't know. And then
you can just decide. They give you the option. Do you want a check in the mail, a direct deposit, or do you want it to go on a debit card?
But who don't got a bank account in 2022?
Bro, that's reality. You can do whatever you want. If you wanted to go on your bank account, you can. If you wanted to go on a prepaid card, you can. What the fuck significance is this?
The significance is you jumped in and you don't know the hell you talking about.
I do. You don't.
I know. I'm just keeping it focused.
I think for real, like they forcing the man to take that money out of his check. I think that money needs to be forced in a way to where it only helps the kid. Like, you can't go buy no fucking nails. You can't go buy no big sack ass crawfish and all. You can't do none of that bullshit.
Now that's a solution
to the kid. You get
that's
what I'm
a
saying?
solution.
Because
where's the
I feel like you gotta live your life regardless, with or without them kids. You chose to have kids, so you made it hard on yourself. You gotta pay that rent. You gotta pay them lights. You gotta pay that water, with or without them kids, with or without a husband. You know, with or without a wife. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like people use it as a handicap and be like, oh, I need this money to do what I'm gonna do with it. You know what I'm saying? They get on Section 8, goddamn me. They say that some women get lucky to, well, you know, especially down here in the South where we got all these refineries and people making that bread. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers paying $900 a month. That's a lot of bread to come off of for child support.
Is it?
That's a lot of bread, bro.
What?
To give to a person that's supposed to be handling their own life.
But here in Texas, though, that's a lot of bread.
I just know someone that's paying over $900 a week for child care.
He's in Texas, though. He's in Texas.
Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, though. I hear we get paid every 2 weeks at the refineries and all that type of shit. That's our primary like money getting out here in Texas, in Southeast Texas. It's the refineries, right? So they taking $900 from them every 2 weeks. That's $1,800.
I thought you said every month.
What? $900 every 2 weeks. That's how it works. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And you mean to tell me like you can't you ain't doing nothing for your child? You ain't doing, like you go pick a man to go pick his child up, or a woman or go pick their child up. Motherfucker ain't got their hair done. They looking sloppy. All that. Like, come on, bro. Where's this money going?
But you know what, Smooth? Since you said that, how are you going to draw the line in terms of what the card can be used for?
You can't.
You said you want to draw the line. If your kid needs to get their hair done, how do you know that money is not being spent on your kid to get their hair done? You can't say, oh, the money was spent in the beauty salon. She using the money for stuff she's not supposed to. She could say, I was using the money to get your daughter's hair done, or I was using the money to get your daughter's nails done. I was using the money to do these things for your daughter. That's what I'm saying. How are you going to draw that line in terms of what the card could be used for?
Man,
I needed cash for
kids, bro.
Field trip.
A boy is getting his haircut maybe twice a month. If we keeping it a bean, a boy is getting his haircut maybe twice a month. A girl is getting her hair done maybe once a month. If we keeping it a bean, you can regulate it in real time and realistic, like type of money type of thing. Like, come on, bro.
But see, let's be real though. See, if you really want to keep it funky, look at this. I got a lot of homeboys that, you know what I'm saying, whether they married or not, and then they get their kids during the summertime. They spend more money in the fucking mall during the summertime because they sit here and they got to go in and like refurnish. And then some of my partners, you know what I'm saying, they say, you know what? I'm not sending no clothes back with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending them in the same regular ass shit they come from. Look, I know my partner make big bread. He make big bread. And I know he paying big bread in child support. And then we go pick his son up from the airport, which he paid for the ticket. And the little dude come out there dusted. Like before we even go out and chill and go hang out and eat, we got to stop by. I mean, and everything like from socks, we just got to take it, put it in a Foot Locker bag and just say, hey, look, we'll wash it with. And I see this through multiple homeboys. This is a problem. I mean, and nobody regulated because in the women mind, they tell themselves that, hey, well, you know, we got to pay rent, electricity, this and this. No, lady, check this out. The dude is paying child support, and guess what? He still got to pay rent, electricity, water, light. So if you give me the child, I don't expect that money to be no other way but actually taking care of that child.
Hey, Logic, you know one other thing about that? When your boys get his kid, he's still paying child support to that woman. That child support just don't stop for the summertime because he got the kid.
Bro, we talked about this on Sheet Critique, right? And the women was like, well, I have obligations I had to meet, so the child support need to stop. Now, them personal obligations, lady. What personal obligation? What, daycare? He not in daycare if he ain't there. What do you need this money for? That's why I said this check is not for the kids. The check is for these women, and they see and abuse that shit. That's why I can't wait. They're trying to invade. I think
as a woman, if you know what you're using the money for, like I wouldn't mind. Well, here private school is a thing, so I offer, pay for their school, pay for her transportation because it's a private transportation that picks her up and drops her up every day. You want to buy the groceries? This is the list. So I offer different options, and the man that wants to help will do it, and whoever doesn't want to do it wouldn't do it. But if a woman is fully aware that she's using the money for the kid, I don't see the reason why she like not agree on this solution. I see a very, very logic thing, you know, to see that, okay, the man is going to pay for the things for the kid. I don't need a man to pay for my nails. I don't need a man to pay for my hair or for me. So
But
I don't see a problem with it.
Watch this. If it's Tuesday and I buy tacos, right? What if I buy enough taco meat for the kid? And I say, you got to fend for yourself.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I said, if you say I pay for food, right? And I say, okay, it's Taco Tuesday. I buy enough taco meat for the kid and tell you got to fend for yourself. Would you be cool with that?
Why don't you take the kid? Take the kid and take him to eat with you.
But most women, you mature. Most women will not do that. Most women gonna be petty. They're gonna be petty and feel like, oh no, you should be doing that for me. That's why men be so upset. Like real men, like fuck all them deadbeat dads that not there for their child. Nigga, you need to up their bread. But for the dudes that's there, that's doing what they supposed to do, taking their kid in the summertime, taking their kid on every other weekend, and all that type of stuff. Like, hey, that money needs to be governed. In my opinion, they don't need to be on child support for real, because when he have his kid, I'm actually spending more. I'm spending more money. I'm spending time. I'm teaching my kids shit, all that type of shit. But a lot of women get in them situations and they don't want to do shit, or they ain't found themselves yet, and they'll use that money the whole time as a crutch. You know, to fund their life, and the dude be looking like, damn, she got Pee Wee over there. I'm paying her child support. Pee Wee eating up all the kid food. You know, I'm selling the TVs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why men be upset.
So
I'm gonna say this, and ladies, I'm gonna dip out after this. Get your bread up, get your bag up, take care of your child. Fuck child support, fuck him. If he don't do what he's supposed to do, he's gonna have to answer that child later on. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to answer that. But get your bag up, because you shouldn't be dependent on no man. When you have a child, you need to be prepared to do it yourself. If you knew that you was getting in a situation with somebody who was gonna be a shit ass nigga, and it could have been a great relationship where y'all were married and y'all divorced, and now he's bitter, because that happens. Oh, you'd be surprised. Mm-hmm. That does happen. But get your bag up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit at the table with the big boys, sit at the table with the big boys. Kind of nigga tell me shit. I pay my own bills.
And that's
if I'm walking around the Balenciagas, Parker got 2 pair.
But most women not like that.
And that's
exactly. Get your bag up and stop complaining.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. The thing about it, and that's, hey, Misha, she the way she is, but she stand on her shit. She knew, even though her baby daddy is in her daughter's life, she knew at the end of the day, she was going to have to be responsible for that child if shit didn't work out. But it's evident that in the consensus of women, from what they keep saying, is that it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. The man is going to be held responsible, right? It doesn't matter. It's going to come back on us. So like I said, it's in the cases, not with Amisha, right? Not with a Kayla or a Sarah or a Kelly, who are reasonable women, supposedly, right? Are reasonable women, right? But in the most cases where we out here trying to play like the majority of these women, like they say, oh, you sleeping with whores, you shooting up, and fine, great. Yep, I made that decision. Give me my shorty. Because then you ain't got no leverage, bitch. You ain't got no leverage.
Easier said than done. That's so easy to say.
But that's what I'm saying.
Let a man pull up and be like,
because I want to see men go ahead and become these single dads. I want to see these single dads. I really do.
I was talking to my wife, man, and I'm like we had these discussions if we got a divorce and all that type of shit. My son young right now, and yeah, you can keep him. I ain't got no problem with that. But the moment my son start displaying like man
12 or 13, he gotta go.
He start displaying man traits, he need to come with me. Just like if we had a daughter, you know what I'm saying? I want my daughter while she young, but when she get older, I can't teach her to walk and talk it like a woman. I can't do that. No matter how great of a man I am, it's certain shit I can't teach a woman. So I would want her in her later years, when she understands she's becoming a woman, go live with your moms. She can teach you this shit that I can never give you. I can only be a great man. You know, and that's how I feel the playing field should be.
She said, what men are like that? My brothers are like that. They have daughters. They don't have sons. and they both have full custody of their daughters, and I commend them. So I've seen it. I see it with my eyes every day. And one of their children is turning 14. She's getting ready to go live with her mother because why? He can't teach her to be a woman at 14. She's getting womanly feelings. She's getting a little beside herself. She's starting to smell herself. So at that point, you got to have mommy step in. But for them, I commend them. They're real black men to me. So I'm comparing everything to them. Because what you mean? They're raising girls. Girls are harder than boys for men to raise.
Hey, all right, y'all. Real quick. Let me shout out to Professor Trill. Appreciate you, G. He said I use men's wipes and she goes to the bathroom to pee and clean up. She leans against the wall to assist herself to the bathroom, so I take everything off the walls beforehand. Shout out to the whole crew, PAT.
What in the hell?
Hey, shout out to Port Arthur, man. Port Arthur in the building. All right, and then real quick, man, I want to introduce Ronan to the stage. But before we introduce Ronan, I think Logic has something to say real quick, and then right after Logic.
Quick question.
Huh?
It ain't long. I got a quick question for the ladies.
All right, go ahead, and then Ronan, we coming right to you after G.
All right. Hey, the quick question I got to the ladies, right, is that just understand this: it's a penalty for a man not being a father. It's a penalty for a man not supporting his kids. So why is it no penalty for women raising shitty kids, being in shitty conditions, and then like I said, I would even agree that, you know what I'm saying, men should pay more. I would say that I'll be an advocate of men paying more if it's a penalty for women not doing their job. If a kid not getting, if they failing in school, it's a penalty. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's financial or whatever, you can't get no taxes that year, income tax return, they love that shit. It should be a penalty for women not doing their job. If they can say they can do it by themselves, it needs to be a penalty like it is for men. Men don't do what they're supposed to do. They going to jail. They losing their driver's license. They losing their passports. They losing everything. And then we see that these women they raise these boys that's detrimental to our community, and there's no penalty for them. So now if there's no penalty, then what incentive it is for them to actually do right? My thing is this.
That is the penalty. That is the penalty. Knowing you raised a fuck nigga. Knowing that your child is not being productive. Nah, man.
But that's not something that affects her.
Knowing you raised a menace to society, and that's what your child's a reflection of you.
Ma'am, do you not understand that that's not a penalty? When I say a penalty, that means
you're talking about a financial penalty.
No, I'm not trying to watch this. How I say, if you raise a fuck nigga, your license gets suspended until he unbecome a fuck nigga. How about that? That's a penalty.
Do you really think that stops people not having a driver's license? I know niggas with kids who don't take care of their kids. And Puerto Rico still allows you to travel there without a passport, sir.
Okay, no, ma'am. But listen what I'm saying. It's a penalty for men. So now men have an incentive to take care of their responsibility. It's no penalty for y'all for fucking up. So like y'all have no incentive for taking care of y'all responsibility. Should it be a penalty for y'all for being fucked up mamas? That's what I'm asking.
The way I understand your point, but the way I see it is like, in order for you to have a good or raise a good kid, it's very hard to do it solo. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is hard, and it requires two, a mom and a dad. And the one that is not there is the father. He is the one that decided not to be there, because you always have the option to show up for your kids, to be there for your kids, to stay there for your kids. You always have that option. Through thick and thin, like no matter what problems you're having, you are responsible and you stay there.
We gonna catch the responsibility no matter what. Don't y'all see this?
You're not gonna catch.
Don't let off the hook.
No, Logic. No.
Answer the question. She just made a statement. I'm scared to answer the question.
No, listen, Logic. It doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, this is what I keep saying. When it comes to dealing with these unruly women, bro, they're going to always find a way out to put the blame off on you, on the man. This is how it comes. Good men, especially if the videos are a perfect example. The good dude, the one he doing what he's supposed to do, right? It ain't special. Doing what he's supposed to do is the one who get all the goddamn repercussions, all the slack, all the bullshit, bro. Take your kid, man. Take your kid. It's just that simple, bro. Take the child. That's what they use as leverage over us with the fucking child support system, with them taking your license, with them hitting your check, bro. Right? Let's start paying up at the beginning, bro, and get our kids and let them go by the wayside. Because that's what they use as the excuse for the black. Oh, you nutted in this da. Oh, yeah, you taking care of your kid, but it's what you're supposed to do. It always come back on us. They're not responsible. They're children. They're children.
I understand
It's
that.
simple, Ricky, but it's not an easy
simple
process.
question.
No, I'm not just blaming one party. I'm not blaming men. I'm not blaming women. We're all responsible for it. But what I'm saying is that, again, I can't avoid looking at the big picture, like the entire picture. I cannot just concentrate on one single thing. But you're saying that women should penalize, and some women abandon their kids. They live. And what do you say about those women that abandon their kids and not responsible?
I said one thing, ma'am. I said one thing. Can you just answer the question? I mean,
didn't I answer?
No, you didn't. I mean, should women be penalized for goddamn raising fucked up kids?
No, that's what I'm saying. I cannot answer specifically on that because it requires two to raise a kid.
Okay, so watch this.
The reason why men are penalized is because the woman stays to raise. She's still there doing her role. She's still there raising with whatever resources she has, with whatever knowledge she has, good or bad, with whatever emotional or disconnect, whatever you want to call it. She's still there. But most men, and I'm not saying every man. There's good men, there's good fathers, but there's majority.
So, ma'am. Okay, I got that. So now, should men be penalized for not taking care of their kids?
Is he not taking care of his kid?
If he's not taking care of his kids, should he be penalized for that?
You're saying he or she?
He. Say he. If he don't pay child support, should he lose his driver's license? Should he use his passport? Should he go to jail? Should he be penalized for not taking care of his kids? You can't make this shit up.
How many opportunities he's been given?
Nope. In my opinion, if a dude ain't taking care of his child, he should be penalized to the max or whatever that is. I think it needs to be stiffer penalties in that, to be honest with you.
Because you want to take the responsibility away from him by asking this question. It's like you want to justify that we're going to have more irresponsible fathers because imagine with the penalties, they are still not doing it.
But where I'm from, you get what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of women use the system in their advantage. You get what I'm saying? They have these kids, they get the Section 8 and all. I think all that needs to be like governed. Like, you only can be on Section 8 for 4 years or something like that. You get what I'm saying? You only can.
I agree, but let's not act like $250 a month is a lot of fucking
money. It ain't.
A lot of money for people who ain't got none.
But look, that's true. But
why the fuck are you having kids?
But look, if we had a government that said, "Hey, we're not gonna help nobody. Everybody got to get it how they live," people will make better decisions. It'll be more women that they'll be like, I'm gonna go get that abortion, or I'm gonna take that plan B and all that, because then they'll be left by themselves. But for majority of the sake of how this shit been going, women have what that is, a safety net. Yeah, if I don't want to do what I want to do, then I can just go get on Section 8. I don't know any dudes on Section 8. I just don't know any men.
Too prideful. We got.
I don't know any single fathers that got their kids that even look towards Section 8.
Okay, real quick. Ronan still ain't got to talk yet. We've been.
Oh, my bad, Ronan, man.
So go ahead.
I see you down there with the red shirt. Even though I don't wear red, I see you out here, baby. Get your talk on.
Better rep your game, boy. Don't do that on live.
Wow.
Nah, Ronan, go ahead, G. My bad.
Hey, I want to say much love to you guys, the crew season, and then the panel. It's an honor to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I agree. They should be punished to the fullest extent of the law for using their children as human unemployment vouchers, for one. Number two, when it comes to that situation, that dude was taking care of his child, his responsibility. The fact that she ignored the fact that her children were watching this whole situation, throwing that food away. And then again, if he didn't bring food for his kid, who's to say the other kids would have beat the hell out of him or do any of the things? And the other part is like, when it comes to the money, where's the money going? with all that money she's getting, her rent's probably $28 or less. And the fact is, she doesn't know how to organize meals to make sure the family eats something that sits on them to where they can be cool for all day. Fast food is going to go through your ass and you're going to be hungry again. So that's piss poor management. So then he made the mistake of being a tender dick, honestly. But when it comes to being accountable for your situation, he went out there, took care of his kids. It's, you know, if he chose to take care of the other kids and do something extra, that's his choice. It's not supposed to be implied, because I've seen the dark side of where women have lied on their kids and say, yeah, one told me that she was babysitting these 5 kids and she went to my house and then like we was gone for like a day or two, came back. I found out weeks later, mama, we hungry. All 5 of her daughters were there. Oh. So she was just worrying about getting her nut. And then like she said, well, I didn't know how to tell you. I was trying to figure out how to get a package deal. And this isn't something made up, it's real time.
What?
So yeah. You got women out there who will do things like
what happened?
The thing, okay, me and her were hooking up at school for, you know, graphic web design. So me and her were linking up. I didn't know she had kids. So she just told me, like, look, you know, the babysitter's going to be here. You know, I'm just watching them. You know, we can go. So the only thing that kept them from the wilds of East Chicago was a wooden door and a deadbolt. Meanwhile, she was getting tossed up and everything with a nut rag. Kids were in there by themselves. So now,
wow,
I felt some kind of way because if something happened to me, I kind of be liable. So you do have individuals who are either trying to pawn their daughters off on other men or leave them to the wilds or whatever just to get theirs. So, like I said, there should be punishable offenses out there for people who are deadbeat parents. Now, that's not his fault for she want to have some patchwork parenting and she want to put some hood potluck babies. That's her business. But as men, we got to protect ourselves, and women. That's why I said the whole thing about accountability dodgeball, vaginal mismanagement, and guys being a tender dick. That's why we start having these generational curses.
What is a tender dick?
Dick discipline.
Well, see, a tender dick is a guy who has he lacks dick discipline. Any scant ass, titties, or whatever, his foresight is the last thing in this conversation.
And pull-out game is trash.
Pull-out game is trash. He's skeeting on anything and everything. And all of a sudden now, because he's liable, garnishments and all the repercussions because he didn't use his big head versus little head.
Where you from? Because where I'm from, we call that a man.
Well, the thing is, like, there are men who have 4 P's. We're talking about protection, problem solving, provision, and procreation. If they're smart, they'll use those things upon themselves and they'll vet the women out in order to use those on them properly. Now, when you have a tender dick, all he's worrying about is just procreation and provision.
He's just happy to be there.
He's just happy to be there. That makes you a simp, a spiritually impaired mule of provision. That's
so,
all it makes.
So a tender dick is something like a simp. And I'm lost with the tender dick shit, but go ahead.
No, you have guys out there who want to be Johnny Appleseed in the neighborhood, smashing any and everything. Like in Memphis, they had 3 guys who fathered over 80 kids in the projects.
But you see, wait, you got to add context to that situation, right? The women wanted them to have babies.
Yeah, but as men, well, I'm saying,
see, the thing is, it's a group of men. It's a group of men out here that women want to have babies by, and then for the other men, they choose to have the deletion.
Right.
So, but the thing is both of the men is doing the same thing. She just choose not to have a baby by this man compared to this man. That's why you see the men that have kids normally will have multiple kids because the women is making decisions to mother them a child.
Well,
I don't know why they do it. It's crazy. Don't ask me, but that it's something about them. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. As men, we're supposed to oppose environment. When women nurture the things, we're supposed to use our discernment. If we see a situation and we got to use our foresight, if this looks bad with the consequences, I'm supposed to use this head and not the other one. Because I have opportunities to do certain things like that. But when it comes to a woman, it's one thing to fuck her. but she has to provide other reasons to fuck with her before, during, and after that. That's where your discernment comes in. That's
like you saying, right? You ain't never busted up in a chick.
I've had auditions.
Okay. So this is what no, that's cool. No, this because I mean this is good though. We been honest though. That's the point, right? I know that's the point. But see, the thing is another man could have had auditions too. But if she would have chose not to fulfill the audition, whatever you said that is, then now you would have been what you talking about now, a man that lacked Dick Desmond.
Well, to speak on that from personal experience, like me and a chick were fooling around, and I knew her mother from school because she worked in admin. Me and her messing around, and she ended up pregnant because my mistake. Now I stood prepared. Okay, look, this is my situation. I'm gonna follow through on this because you know I this is what I did. I can't be a deadbeat. So she decided to like abort the children.
You said children, like plural?
Multiple?
No, well, she had.
There was more than one?
No, I was supposed to have twins.
Oh.
Okay.
But she waited till Christmas Day, 6 months to tell me she aborted them, only to go back out there thotting, drinking, and doing what she wanted to do.
But hold on, I think you missed my point. My point is this, right? When men get up here and they start talking about Dick Desmond, right? And then they was involved in multiple deletions, then no, it's not Dick Desmond. It's just that the woman chose to go to the deletion route compared to a man that did the exact same thing you did. He just could not convince the chick to go through the deletion route. That's what I'm going. When you look at these so-called men on YouTube saying these weak ass Dick Desmond talking points, but they'll still sit here and say, well, it's Dick Desmond. No, well, you just dodged the bullet. You got lucky, or the chick didn't want to have a baby by it. Because right now, if she would have chose a alternate decision, right, you would not be using that Dick Desmond point because you would be a father of four. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I get real. No, so and I get your point. I know the guys, I bump heads with them on a regular basis. But again, it's like there are individuals who intentionally use ulterior motives. Like where I came back from the bathroom with one chick too early, and I seen her back towards the door. She was stabbing holes in the condom and put it right on the dresser. So, I mean, again, it's like you have to read the situation in real time. Yes, you have to read the situation real time. And she was upset 2 weeks later, figuring like something was supposed to happen. And I gave the whole switcheroo. I had a spare. Switch that in the dark, threw the other one in the trash.
No, you should have fucked it off. Like if I would have saw that, I wouldn't even bust her down because she proved me she's a terrorist.
But and you're right about that. That's me owning the responsibility. Then that was back in around after the military, like around my mid-20s.
Oh, you was in the Army?
Marine Corps.
Yeah, well, I already know you ain't got no Dick Desmond, so don't come here and start talking that Dick Desmond. All you gotta do is let a nigga talk long enough. You ain't got no Dick Desmond. That's some bullshit you heard on YouTube, nigga. Like I said, I'm fuck with you. I'm fuck with you though. But this is, but you see my point though. The only way somebody can say Dick Desmond exists if they can look somebody in their face and say they never went raw in no chick. If you've been involved in a chick and you went raw, you ain't got no Dick Discipline, player. If you busted in a chick, you ain't got no dick. If she
is that what Dick Discipline is? I thought it was not.
No, actually, that
I thought it was not.
And I see his point where is that there that has to be learned because in many cases, in many spaces, there are not guys who are providing the information. If they do, it goes ignored because they see what the other guys are doing. Hey, they getting all these women, whatever. Why not me? And they'll be looking to lean towards that. When it comes down to you, you have to make that decision right there because you see your homeboy out there going through it with 4 different kids, and I've seen it. Chicks, you had baby mamas out there in the store we was working at and arguing. He just up and left.
So
and
do you have Dick Discipline now? Because this is
I'm 40. I'm 46 with no kids.
No, I mean like you're not having raw sex. You're not out there just pumping and dumping people.
No, there's chicks.
Now you're like having sex intentionally.
Hey, Roman, you ain't never ran into one that was worthy?
Like I said, I had auditions. I like, again.
No, I'm talking about you ain't never ran into one woman that was worthy of having a kid for you.
No. No, sir.
What does that mean, auditions? What does that mean?
I almost had children, but it didn't happen. Like one got aborted and the other one
just practice.
Just Yeah, just at the range. That's
Just
all.
practicing.
So
ideally, you really
Is that big discipline or is
well, I've said over time I learned the importance of it. Earlier years, those are hard lessons I had to learn to get to this point.
and you're 46 and you've never been married?
No, like I said, I would audition with that. Fiancés, but again, it's like when you promote them to be a fiance, you start seeing the real them in a sense. So again, like when you put them in that position, you got to start thinking about, is she worthy to share a legacy with? This is the thing we don't talk about most times.
Hey, Ronan, where are you from?
Indianapolis.
I wouldn't even say that. Ain't no good women there at all.
I know.
God damn.
I know, but I've lived in Houston, so I know what's happening down there.
Did you retire from the military?
Yes, honorable discharge. Yes.
Okay. A little different though, but okay. I was just say because that's why I ain't get married, because I ain't no way I'm gonna give a motherfucker half of my shit.
Well, the thing is, like, it's not
Like, if you're gonna get married.
No, well, I might do it now, but I'm saying when I was in, I saw grown men crying when they signed their DD 214 because they went in.
The reason why they were crying because most guys want to get out the barracks, so they want to get BHQ, but then that proved to be wrong when you got to do a float and you find out your
No. I'm saying something different though. Like for the ones that was married and then they was married over 10 years, for the woman, when they retire, like you could have been in with them your first 10 years and divorced her your last 10 years, they automatically get half.
Yeah.
So I seen grown men. I seen grown men go in and sign their DD 214s and they was crying knowing they got to get this woman half. And then they would be so savage that they'll come up there with their new husband. And then, it don't matter. And then now I think it's grandfathered in. It's like now it don't have to be 10 years. It's just that if she was married to you for 2 years, it's not half, but it's a percentage. And it goes like that. That's why a lot of dudes in the military are scared to get married. Really not. Because who want to be in there crying like them grown ass men? Like grown ass men crying, knowing that, hey, I done got shot. I done did all this shit. And then now I got to get her half of my shit for the rest of her life.
And the fact that you mentioned that, it's like conversations like this, where we talk about the money part, that's why we refer to as childish support instead of child support, because it rarely goes to the children. It rarely benefits the children. And then you start teaching them parental politics, which makes things even worse. Because kids, if they know how to play certain parents against each other, they will go wild. We've all seen that happen.
I got to go to bed. Matter of fact, I'm finna go get me some Waffle House. I'm retired. I ain't got to worry about goddamn getting up in the morning and working.
Put a nut rag in your pocket just in case you need it.
Keep on, Kelly. See now when you start throwing them shots and you get them back, you're like, leave me, can't say Logic always messing with me.
You always mess with me, so I got to come back a little bit.
Yeah, this is a fact.
Oh yeah. Like the dog Smooth.
Appreciate
Where
that,
did Trill go?
They figured it out right now. We chatting about it right now.
They said we're done. No more.
We're gonna go 4 hours.
Yeah.
No.
I can't go 4 hours. I'm not.
We already at 3. So look, we can cut it off right here.
At that 3 mark, I'm gonna have to.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know I'm on Eastern time.
Me too.
Yeah, look, we can cut it off right here. That way y'all ladies can get y'all beauty rest. You know what I'm saying? Roman, you can potentially go find your wife out here and some kids or something.
I'll put her on layaway. I'll do that.
You know what I'm saying? D, you can potentially. So yeah.
Well, all I can say is I pray for the kids. That's all I can say.
All right, they back. The fellas is back. See, I told you they was getting it together.
Okay.
They put their women on layaway in Indianapolis.
It's a whole nother animal down here.
It's just gonna roll with.
Hey, and for those that's asking about the dog, these dogs ain't cheap.
No, they ain't.
Talk their talk, Smooth.
No, they ain't.
All right, y'all. Well, Ronan gang, we appreciate you coming up and checking in with us, bro. We're gonna bring up one more person, man, and we're gonna wrap this
Keep
thing
doing
up.
y'all thing, man.
Huh?
Keep doing y'all thing. I enjoy the podcast. Great content, and we need conversations like this. So keep doing it.
I appreciate you, bro. That mean a lot. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Everybody on the panel, y'all already know it's love. Everybody in the chat been going crazy all night. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna bring up one more, man. We're gonna call this thing a night. Mike Dub is in the building.
What's
What up, G?
What's up, man?
What you think about all this chaos in terms of this little video that went viral?
Man, that was nothing but some crazy ass shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But all I had to say is when she sat there and says, like, you know what you're getting into, it's like, well, that's what you get from microwaving a thought pocket. So what do you expect?
Thought pocket.
I mean,
she has to be. There's no way she's not.
Oh man. Like I said, man, they're absolved of all responsibility because you knew she's this.
He did though.
Like I said, and that's why I keep telling you, Kayla, like, and let's eliminate.
They both have responsibility, Ricky. No one's absolved of anything.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You need to go get the full custody.
Let me finish what I'm saying. That's what I'm eliminate the issue. We can clearly see that this young man was doing what he's supposed to do for his child. She was the issue. Let's eliminate her as the issue. Eliminate her as the issue.
But how do you recommend they do that?
They can do it, man.
Well, first of all, he sounds like he was the last one who had the last kid. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was the fourth baby daddy. She said that he had 3 other kids. He sounds like he was the last one.
He was.
You should have known what you were getting into with the woman who has 3 other kids.
This the problem. You know what I'm saying? Again, if we're going to be held responsible for what we think in the actions, then he should take forward. Yeah, it's difficult. It's going to be any more difficult than dealing with this woman for the next 18 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a long road, but you can do it, bro.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Look, the thing is this. They both made the baby. We're not arguing that. Let's get that out of our head. That's not what I'm saying. Right? I'm saying at the end of the day, when we look at this, y'all see the conversations keep coming back. Mike Dub just jumped in here after sitting in the chat for I don't know how long. He knew what he was dealing with. Okay, not the fact that she was a shitty mother and can't budget, right? He should know that she was a fucked up individual to have a baby with in the first place. So let's just eliminate her from the situation. Right? The baby here already, because that's what we keep going off of, right? Because when I bring up the stance of, hey, yeah, we have sex, but women have access to sex, and if a woman closed her legs from the get-go, that don't matter to the modern woman. That don't matter. It's he still fucked, even though you let him fuck. That don't float, right? That don't float. So let's get away from that. The problem's already here because that's what black folks keep doing. We don't want to go with prevention, right? We want to go with now that the problem's here, let's deal with it there. So let's deal with it here. If she's such a problem, which she look like it is, and this the ratchet, Kayla, I couldn't stand that. I don't even like her like this. I wanted to punch her in the face. That's what Misha said. I wanted to punch her, right? Y'all, this shit is ugly in the streets. It's ugly in the streets, right? But when it comes down to it, what I keep hearing from everybody, men and women alike, he knew what he was doing. So let's get away from that. Get your child.
Hey Ricky,
in the discussion.
What I'm trying to figure out with all the stuff she's going on, how the hell she have custody of the kids in the first place?
Because they get away with it like that.
I don't know how that shit.
Because the other fathers.
That's one of the things that I wanted to answer to the other person that said he asked about the penalties. He asked about if a woman should have penalties. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. He asked like if women should have penalties, and that could be a penalty, losing custody, but men don't do it. They don't fight for custody because it takes too long, because they think automatically are close-minded that the system is against them. But here we have an example of a man that actually fought for custody and he got it. It took time and it was hard, and I'm pretty sure that it is not easy for him, but he did what he had to do. And it's just that.
Well, the problem is that the system automatically gives custody to the mother, no matter how bad they are.
Yeah, you have to prove like the mother's on drugs.
You have to prove it the same way that
the children are being abused.
I didn't have to prove none of that though.
It depends it all depends on what state.
Who's talking?
That does depend on what state you live in.
G. Foster. I was D.
It's
Foster.
a state-to-state issue.
So what did you
There's
do?
no across the board.
What was your process?
Yeah, he
Because
got the
Ricky
perfect
keeps
example.
telling the guys to get the kids. how do they do that? Because I mean, the system's not rigged. It's rigged for the mom.
Nope. But
it's
so this is what I'm listen to what I'm saying, Kel. This is what I'm saying, right? So just what I said. You go to court just like anybody else. That's what ain't that what we talked about the last week, D. Foster?
Yeah.
Like he said itself. Hey, yeah, we as men mentally think that it's rigged against us. Stop thinking that shit. He got his child. Go get your child. Go get your child. Right? Because like I said, we never want to concentrate on prevention because people gonna do what they gonna do. He knew she was a fucked up individual, right? So it's his fault, right? So if it's his fault, and then no matter what, it's gonna come back on us, even though as a man, from what I see him doing, he was being responsible for his child. But that's what he's supposed to do.
Exactly.
So you're saying go to the court system and take the time, do your due diligence, and get your child legally.
Yeah,
that's such a great talking point. But at the end of the day, these niggas, they don't want their kids.
And that's
they don't want their kids. They don't want their kids. They want to drop food off and keep it fucking pushing. They don't want
Kayla,
their kids.
But Kayla, here's the thing.
I don't agree with
you ever wonder why that is?
My son's
I
dad
bet you that woman has run off all the other baby daddies.
Of course, that's why they're not there. And he gonna be next. And now she ain't gonna have nobody bringing nothing.
Kayla, every dad's not like that because my son's dad.
No, you're
very
absolutely
good
right.
care
But
of my son's.
I've seen guys that I know that are not good fathers in the club, spending money, out with women, spending time. Like I'm watching their Instagram. They're in Mexico. Like I'm saying that there is a sector of men that love that talking point, but will never go and take the initiative to actually get their kid because being a single parent is hard as fuck.
Like the thing is though, like a lot of dudes
do it.
Get your shorty, man.
A lot of dudes just not built for this lifestyle.
But wait, Ricky, what are we talking about? It's not fair for the kids to not be able to have everybody have McDonald's. This man has other kids with other women. So if he gets his one son, how is it fair to the other kids?
That's not my point.
I'm just saying, what about the fairness of it all, right? If he gets that one kid, then he need to get all the kids with all the other women he got kids with.
Like you said it yourself, life ain't fucking fair.
That's true.
I think people should stay together and work it out.
No.
Amen. Yes, they should work it out.
Stop splitting kids, be a mom and a dad to both. Like, they need both parents. Deal with it when they're 18.
I agree, and that right there is a great point for us to wrap this thing up. I told y'all I wasn't gonna hit the 4-hour mark this time. Everybody in the chat that was saying we weren't gonna make it. Kelly, one of them, doubting me. Told y'all we wasn't gonna get to 4 hours, 3 hours max, man. But I appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody in the back chat who couldn't come up, gang. I'm sorry, man. Y'all gonna have to tap in a bit earlier. Next time we're gonna be right back here next Wednesday. Might be here Friday because it was something that broke today that I want to kind of address in terms of women being submissive.
What broke?
So
trigger warning.
So we might be back out
Well,
here.
I just did a whole show about submission, so I'm not triggered. I'm just asking.
No, not you. I'm just saying to the people in the chats and stuff.
Yeah, so it was a clip. Watch Jazzy and Shan. See, that's what I'm talking about. So
Kelly was on my show earlier. We just covered it. It's very
That's what I say.
I mean, you can go back and watch my live stream. I would love to come to yours, so just let me know.
Hey, Trill, you don't know you can't say that word.
That's what I'm saying.
What's that?
You can't say submission.
Oh, submission.
That's a trigger word. You can't say that word.
Submission
is not a trigger word.
It's biblical.
It's just not enough men worth submitting to.
Why is hold up? Why is my submission your response?
No, we're gonna
Here y'all go. I keep telling you, be here a whole another 3 hours. Hey,
yes, please.
Yeah, hey, but look though, we're gonna tap back in. It's gonna either be Friday or it's gonna be Saturday, one of the two, and we're gonna touch that submission topic for damn sure. But I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Salute to y'all. Chat been going crazy all damn night. I appreciate y'all. Everybody who donated. And like I said, man, everybody on the panel, y'all already know it's love. Y'all already know y'all got a place on this platform. Anytime we got damn me go live. So every single Wednesday we here. And again, special day Saturday to address said topic. Oh, you got any words before we get up out of here? Smooth, you too?
You got something, Smooth?
Nah, I ain't got too much of nothing, man. I ain't got too much of nothing. Just
gonna-
showing off a pretty dog.
Yes,
So pretty. It's a very
I was
pretty
gonna
dog.
say thank y'all for coming out. In
What's his
summary,
name? Oh, I'm sorry.
it's all right.
Her name is Cinnamon.
In summary, we just need to work better together. Men need to protect their seeds more, and women need to be more selective of who they let hit. Plain and simple. Everybody can do a better job, and we need to also be more mature whenever you do end up in situations, because life does happen. We understand that. So when you are in a certain situation like that, we just got to be more mature. That's it.
I posted a tutorial on how to effectively prevent abortions. I mean, getting pregnant, so therefore you don't need an abortion.
Hilarious.
And you can start with downloading the flow chart. Thanks,
Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
It's very fucking accurate.
Very
too.
accurate. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, real rap. So
I
y'all
keep up with all my ladies.
All,
Ovulation.
all your ladies.
Ovulation days.
You heard what he said?
I keep their calendars.
You got a bit of Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, I need to know who ovulating on what days.
Hey, I will admit though,
right
I was
now?
one.
Who's talking
I'm not
right
gonna
now?
lie. I was with the guy, but before I was in the Marine Corps, I was one lucky motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You army niggas are the worst. We've heard.
Who did they keep?
Y'all be
calendar of
shucking
all
and
their
jiving
ladies?
and shucking and jiving.
Who said that?
D. Foster.
They have bad reputation.
You did? Oh, okay. I gotta stay away from community
No.
penis. I just want to make
D.
sure.
Foster, he got 3 different accounts on his Flow app, so he can flip through the account, see who's ovulating, who's not, whose period's about to come.
Hey man, I had the one child I wanted. I had her. That's it.
and I'm
We good.
So what do we gotta do to get these men to get married? Because we keep talking about single moms.
They gotta want to be married to get
Don't
married.
give him the pussy.
I'm not getting married. That's not.
They gotta want to be married to get married.
They
I'm not
gotta
ever
be
settling
worth
down.
getting married to.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because there's Kelly, I'm guaranteeing for the both of us, there are plenty of men that we can just marry, just to marry someone.
Sure.
But like
tomorrow,
you want to marry someone that is worth submitting to and that you respect. So
Why is your submission my responsibility? I never understood that.
Submission.
you have to be a real
We might
man.
have go into that fourth hour.
You see
You're
Damn.
jumping ahead.
I tried to get us out of
Sit
here.
down.
You have to be a real man. Okay, I'm done. No more talking.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. Good night. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Kayla, add me back on IG.
Add you back. Did I delete you?
I just add you.
Yeah, Kayla, she follow you, then she unfollow you. You know, she bougie like
Oh,
that.
that's what she do?
That's
let me
Not
go-
true.
like
That's
that.
not
Let me
even
go-
me. That's
Let
probably
me
my
go take my
publicist.
follow back.
Hollywood.
It's probably
I
my
gotta stand up for
publicist.
Kayla. I
It's
can't
not
let
even
y'all talk
me.
about her like that.
All right, we out of here, man.
Hey, Caleb, me and you gonna have to have this discussion.
Well, I have my show right before this show every Wednesday.
Okay, I'll be on. Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Matter of fact. Yeah, man, we gonna fill up next week. We fill up next week to come shake shit up for sure.
Just call me Tay. Oh no. Oh.
See,
Oh, you stupid.
Sorry, that was a different one.
Scrolling
Who
through
am I
all of-
following? Darnell. Who? What's the name of your? What is the name?
Darnell.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry, that was some other niggas. I got it.
Damn.
It's hilarious, G. You gotta watch it, bro.
Come on now.
Big pimping, you hear me?
All right, man. Look here. We gone, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody on the panel is love. Until next time, we out of here.
Goddamn me. you.